What's up, everybody, and welcome to Thursday Nights. You know what it is. It is Thursday with the Affairs of the Heart crew. I'm your boy DQ, and as always, we've got SoDebNair, and we've got EzSaidEzDone in the building. We are back for season 4 of the Affairs of the Heart podcast. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Y'all all right?
Yes, the people missed you. They missed you guys last week.
Yes, Listen, I am back to working the friendly skies that are not so friendly anymore. And so when duty calls, that's where the money resides, and that's where I go.
Right. Not mad at it at all.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Listen, so we are glad to be back on a Thursday night. We have a special guest tonight. She is a relationship wellness coach. She is also the pink love guru. She is my sister, and I'm so glad that she is here with us tonight, hanging with the fellas. It is Dr. Rainier Amen. Hey,
so excited. I feel like I'm on the couch. I'm like excited.
we need a couch. We need a couch to have guests on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I'm a huge fan. Like I'm like in fangirl space right now. I'm like,
well, we are so glad that you decided to hang out with the fellas. Now just for our listeners and our viewers, nothing is taboo. She will chime in on all of the topics. She will talk about it like it is what it is. This is not going to be a cute little situation. She's going to tell it like it is from a female's perspective. But she can get down with the fellas.
Or maybe a male perspective, you don't know. I'm just fluid. It comes up how it comes up.
I'm gonna go ahead and sip on that.
Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. Yes, I had to give you the horns on that one. All right, so we are glad to be back. As always, share, like, subscribe for the Affairs of the Heart. You can also check us out if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification button so you know when we post. And you can join us every Thursday night. But let's get into it. Y'all ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. So we always start with Dear Affairs of the Heart. Let's see what our letter is for this week. The letter reads, the past few weeks, I've been seeing this guy who lives in my apartment complex. Literally the next building over. We have been chilling every day, having sex, and he is cute and nice, but he is so small and skinny, which is not really my type. I'm skinny as fuck too, so it just doesn't really look right. I'm used to big men with some thickness to them. I think he likes me a lot more than I like him. And I like him, but he's just not my type. The last guy I made myself like because he was nice. I came to my senses one day and realized I didn't want him, and I broke up with him. I don't want to continue to hurt people or hurt myself by making the mistake and missing out on a good guy. What should I do? This is loaded. This is so much. Sheesh. Okay, so I see y'all are thinking. I'll kind of break it down a little bit because everybody's got.
I feel like I got it. Already.
You got it. Okay. Well, come on with it, E.
Is your type your type? Like you can literally be blocking your own blessings right now. It seems like you're forcing yourself into situationships. And like you're saying that you like these big guys, you like them thick and everything, but yet seems like you've been quarantining with this skinny guy from across the street. And it's like, I mean, why would you continue to put yourself in that predicament? Like y'all are staying over each other's places, y'all are sleeping together, y'all are in each other's faces day in and day out. Clearly there's something else other than sex that's holding you there. Like let your guard down and let this idea of my type go and enjoy the ride. This could be the thing that gives you happiness for a lifetime. But you're stuck on these guys that clearly you're not their type. That's
Okay.
That's my little bit of piece. That's my little bit of piece.
Okay. So you think that this person should, let the stereotypes go, let the cliches go, just open up and have some fun, and you could really fall in love with the person, if it leads to that.
It seems like he's already he's just about there. You found someone who's into you. You seem to be into him because I can't see someone really especially when you live across the street, across the hall, the next building over. Like that's somebody that you're going to see on a regular. So if that's someone you don't feel, you should cut that off ASAP. But he hasn't. Like there's got to be more than just sex there.
Okay.
Because I mean, are we all not just kind of sitting at home day in and day out right now because of quarantining and whatever nonsense is going on outside?
Well, clearly he's not.
Well, aren't they together though? So that's what I'm getting from the letter. So they're spending a lot of time together.
Okay. Rainier, what you got?
So as a resident big girl. I'm serious. I'm Mrs. Exquisite, full figure to USA, at large, New York. So, as the resident big girl, there is clearly something else going on, but the pandemic has caused people to link up with people that they wouldn't necessarily, just to say that they have some type of company or someone. That whole quarantining thing and being away from people were and still are seeking some type of intimate connection. I do believe that if you do not have some type of chemistry or attraction outside of sex, because you don't need to be attracted to someone or have chemistry with someone to sleep with them. That's the reality. And so if you don't have that extra ... there's no way that you can have a viable and healthy relationship, because at some point they're just going to feel like something to do. And you're going to then run into someone who you do have chemistry for and who you are attracted to. And that is where you're going to gravitate. And then you're going to end up hurting this person. So my thought is, if it's going to be a situationship, then let it be that. But when you start talking about, well, maybe I should have a relationship with this person because I'm sleeping with them, but I really don't have that extra step, that's the recipe for disaster. As soon as they cross over into the relationship element, something's going to be missing.
Okay. So, Debonair, what you got?
I was going to say shout out to all the big guys and the thick guys out there, because this is not normally our situation. So, shout out to that. I agree with Renee. I think this is more like I'm kind of quarantine situation. You in my building, and it's convenience. You know what I'm saying? That's probably where the emotions are more coming in than anything, because it's convenient. I can literally walk next door, knock, do what I want to do. We probably watch Netflix or something real quick, but it's convenient. So I don't think that there's really a connection there. I think it's just a connection out of convenience more than anything.
Okay. I think, what's interesting about this entire thing, there's two parts to this. He recognizes that, they've been chilling and they've been having sex. Obviously that was the initial reason for the meeting, as we've all stated. But I think the other aspect to this is that he realizes a pattern that he has, or he has started, or that he has entered into, where he, like that line where he mentions that he broke it off with a person because he realized he wasn't really into them, or, there's some introspective work there that I think needs to be worked on, and dragging this person who really likes you into that situation is probably not the best thing. I agree with everything that everyone has said. I think that he should just leave it for what it is. If the person likes him, what we're missing is the communication. Just be honest and just say, okay, this is what this is. This was a hookup, a continued hookup, because you just happen to be so conveniently close, as SoDebNair said. And I don't know that I can be anything more than that.
Yeah, but don't to make sure you don't say I have to break up with you because you're too skinny. Like don't add don't add that. Don't tear the man's self-esteem down because you tend to like big guys. Like leave that part out. Just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. You gotta be like, you need some meat on your bones
It's
for
not
me.
you.
It's
It's really me. It's not you. It's me.
I
Yeah,
think
it's you and them bones.
but the responsibility is on the writer of the letter, because then why did you hook up with the person in the first place if they weren't your type? So that proves that this was just a hookup situation, not really meant to be anything more, because you're not even really anybody that I would actually go for or look at to begin with, but you did it anyway.
You know what happened? He was on Jack or Grinder. He was 0.03 miles away. The sex was good the first few times, and he just kept doing it. Now he's confused whether he has emotions or if this is not even realistic for him, because this is not a thick guy. This is a skinny guy. This is not who he's normally used to dealing with. So that's all this is. Most of us have fell in this trap before.
All of us have, not most of us. All of us have at some point.
Oh yeah, I've had that get up at like 3 months and be like, hey. And I might have been that for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. But yeah.
He'd be like, he really annoys the fuck out of me, but the sex is great. So, and he's next door.
Which is not necessarily a good thing. Because now, no matter what happens, he will always have to run into this person, going to get some bread, going to get some milk, or whatever. And here you are. Right.
You start looking out the window to see if the person car out there, because you done figured out what car they drive.
And then watch. And then watch what happens. You sitting there peeking out the window, making sure you missing him, and you will see somebody else going to the house, and then you'll be like, "What the fuck is going on here?" That's how. Yeah. You want to see somebody else, and then you want to have a whole attitude.
Then you want to test the waters out to see if you can still do it after that person left.
Yeah, go ahead, hit him up. Hey, what you doing?
Oh, jealousy then makes the person attractive. Once you become jealous, now it's, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that to me. Like I thought we had a thing.
Right. That is very good and very true, because then it gets really uncomfortable. Yeah, I've had some rendezvous in my apartment buildings before, and it has just not been the best of situations. Because you looking down the hall, you looking for the car, you see them running up the street because they exercise, and you see them in the gym, you'd be like, oh, hey,
don't make no sense.
It's actually happened with a coworker of mine. And it was like, you have to see him every day now, and he's texting when you walk in, you looking today, or can we chill again? And I'm like,
I have to say that's one thing I've never done. The mess around with someone so close to home or work. Mm-mm.
I think the dude, he was just hitting me up so, like, he would not stop. And I think I had got drunk one night, and I was horny, and
that's all she wrote.
And that was that.
And that was that on that. Right?
Listen, I don't play close. I played close one time, and that girl came into my office and took her arm and went from one end of my desk to the other end of the desk and swiped everything. Papers went flying up in the air, everything, all because I didn't want to come and live with her. No joke. No lie.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to tell you that it took everything to reach up and keep me in the chair. And you have that look where you just go, you're going to pick all that shit up. Like, it's just like that. You don't even move. And she had to get the papers from behind me. I'm telling you, it was like a Tina Turner movie in that moment, because I just sat there like, rocking. I didn't know what to do. What could you do? So ever since that, I never mess with anyone that has the ability to destroy my office or create a scene where I work at.
And you know what's crazy is the dude, he actually friended me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And every time I play those question games, he's always like, "When can we chill again?" And I ignore it every single time, to the point where I had to start. I had to block him because I'm like, "Why do you keep asking?" Like I haven't responded in the first 5 times. Like, why do you keep asking me this? So
that can be rather annoying.
it's very
Especially,
annoying.
was it not good for you? Did you not enjoy it? It was just one situation.
I mean, I never originally wanted to do it in the first place, but because
Yeah.
he just kept on asking, and like I said, I got drunk one night. Feelings started in my body started to happen. I want to feel good on the inside, Paul.
What? Even Renee looking like what?
He was honest.
Wait, I'm laughing because the comment said that's some Virgo shit, and I'm a Virgo, so immediately I was like, like my body just started happening. I was like, what? I hear you.
Listen, that's honest. There's an explosion on the inside that needs to be put out. Let's go to some more comments.
I'm not gonna touch that.
You're not even gonna touch it?
Nope.
Okay. Most gay men do that. We put others down to feel good about ourselves. Yes, no, maybe.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, I think they're referring to when I said earlier, don't tell them that you're breaking up with them because they're skinny.
Mhm.
Like, don't say that to them. But a lot of times when people are trying to rationalize the decisions that they're making, they'll say something. Like, I didn't even like the way you ate your food at the dinner table anyway. You chew like a cow, like ridiculous stuff just to make you, feel a way because they feel in a way. So
that's true.
Okay. All right. So to this heartbeat, listen, if you enjoy the sex, but don't make it more than what it actually is. And don't try to belittle him because you made a poor choice of being with somebody skinny when you usually like big guys. I mean, that's on you.
And be honest with him. Like, you don't, it's a sexual thing for you, and that's it. Like, you have to be honest to not lead the person on and say, just for him thinking that there's feelings involved when it's just a sexual thing for you.
Absolutely.
Most guys ain't gonna care.
Right. It's probably a sexual thing for him because he got somebody coming over when you leave. And that's that on that. All right. So we're going to go into our relationship topics for this week. And we're going to start with relationship topic number 1. Can being nice in your DMs fuck you up? Can being nice in your DMs fuck you up? You might have to elaborate on this one for us, SoDebNair.
Okay, I'm good with it. So so basically, this is just like, people, it's kind of like this whole thing where we just kind of talked about, where like people are hitting you up in your inbox, but they're very consistent about it, and you're being nice, not trying to say, I'm not attracted to you or anything like that. Or they're always asking like take you out on dates, or they want to come over and chill with you. And instead of you just saying no, like you're being nice, like, oh, maybe one day, or, when my time is free, something like that. Like, you're not really giving them an answer because you don't want to be mean, but you're being nice to them by not telling them why you don't want to like connect with this person. Could that mess you up? Like, where it won't stop because you won't tell them no.
Okay. So I can be transparent and say that I get this a lot. I get a lot of people in my DMs, and instead of me being like, no, I try to be, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm that guy. But in reality, even though you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, you're still leading them on, and it becomes a whole situation. So I have had, had to be like, sorry. And it has been good and it has been bad. So I really can't, I'm not the one to answer this question. Because
let me go first.
Okay.
So this happens to me all the time, especially with me like being on All About the Tea now. It happens even more. And a lot of times, what really kind of like throws me is it be from accounts who have no pictures of them. And you know, like I just don't want to be mean, like turning them down because one, I mean, I don't even know who's behind the account. You know what I mean? But it also gets to the point where it starts to get annoying. It's like, how are you asking me to like connect with you or something like this? And I don't even know who I'm even talking to. Like this could be someone that I know or someone that I may be attracted to, but I can't tell. You know what I mean? And so it now gets to the point where it's like every time they're like, oh, you know, I'll be in town next week and I want to hang out, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like I don't know how to say who is this, or you know, I don't even know, I don't know how to do that. So I'm always just like, oh, well, you know, when you get here, let me know. We'll figure it out, or something like that. And then they'll get here, and then you know, I just kind of ignore the messages the entire time until they leave. I'm like, oh, I'm just now seeing this.
So you just gonna tell everybody what your MO is when they message you. So now they know.
I mean, I try to be honest on this podcast.
So now if you send Aaron a message and be like, I'm coming to Atlanta, I want to hang out with you, he'd be like, oh, okay. And then you hit him up the whole weekend. You don't hear nothing until after you leave. You already know that you didn't got, you know. What you think, E? What you got?
Well, I'm the nice guy in the DM.
You're the nice guy.
I'm the nice. I am very much the nice guy in the DM. But at the same time, I'm kind of short with my answers. Like it's like short and sweet type stuff. Like I'm not giving you too many details about what's going on. I'm not going to keep the conversation going. I'm giving you short to the point answers. And most times they kind of die off. But I also at the same time, I've been in a relationship. So although I'm not in a relationship, I tell them I've been in a relationship. I just don't post it on social media. So now the secret is out. I literally have been in a relationship for like 10 plus years.
That's what you tell people when you okay, so you lying is what you're saying.
Yes, I am, but at the same time, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but they always take it in stride. They're very respectful of that.
That's true.
I guess you could say the conversations kind of get a little thinner. So it's like they don't hit me up as much anymore. Or they'll hit me up every now, like, you know, maybe once or twice through the season just to check and see if I'm still together with that person. But yes, going strong. We're talking adoption now.
Baby, you're talking rings and houses and joint accounts. You sitting there twiddling your thumbs with Netflix.
Exactly. You know, my father slipped on the ice. He out there helping him up. Like that's how close we are. That's how good the family is, you know. That like it's
you have created this whole narrative, and
I legit have been doing that for so long. It's like a part of my life now. They're like, they'll be quick. They're like, oh, I'll never see you. We keep our stuff really private. It's just. Don't you pass out there like she's dying.
Wait, you said the slip for somebody, and now we helping him out.
Yes, sometimes you gotta paint a picture to let them know how close y'all really are and how good the relationship is. Like, yes, my father slipped on some ice out there trying to shovel snow. Now he out there helping them up. You know, like it's a lot going on. It's you know.
You know what my problem is with that? They'll be like, every time they'll hit me up, like, how's the boo going? The boo. And by the time I keep doing it, so I'll be forgetting that I even told them I had one, and then I done messed the whole thing up. So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good on that. My DMs are like, yeah.
Oh, they'll hit me up on Instagram, and then go to Twitter and hit me up like, how's the boo? I'm like, who is this?
Keep them the same. Keep them the same. I will remind them real quick. Don't you always hit me up on the IG? What you doing over here? I'm going.
But they be having a whole nother. They have a whole nother name of the picture of a different landscape.
See, now why are you having conversations with background pictures? You having conversations with screensavers. And I ain't got time for that.
I've always been told like you just don't do it, especially when you're like doing stuff on social media, like you don't do that. So I'm like, I'm not trying to like make anyone. I just don't have art. I'm sorry, I just don't.
I feel you. I feel you, SoDebNair. But Easy, keeping up that lie is so hard. Easy, it's so difficult. Because listen, if you have multiple people coming in your inbox at one time, saying, "Oh my God, you fine. Oh my God, I want to take you out. Oh my God, I just want to meet you. Oh my God, I just want to have sex with you. Oh my God, like it's just kind of like, okay, Rainier, what you got?
See, it depends because I get, I posted one day that somebody like a guy slid in my DM and I went to look at it. I was gonna look. I want to see who the person is. And I told my people, and she was like, "Well, maybe he's trying to be a sugar daddy." I was like, "No, he's a salt son. He was nowhere near a sugar daddy." So I get like these weird messages like, "Baby, you single?" or "Baby, can I holler at you?" But I'm respectful as long as they're respectful. No, I'm not interested. Or no, I'm not straight or something. And then when they go too far, I block them. Like I don't do the lie thing because I don't have time to keep up with that. And I get it. I don't want to hurt someone's feelings either. But at some point, you're going to see something on my page that's going to tell you that I just lied to you. At some point, and you're going to be like, oh, I thought you was, I see you have a person, but then later on I might post that I'm poly. Then you'll say, oh, well, I thought you were poly. Like what? Like it's a lot of, when you lie, you got to keep that. And as soon as I post something that's contrary, your ass will slide right back in my box and say, oh, I thought. So I just rather tell you from the gate, I'm not interested. No, thank you. And I still do it with love. Unless you get disrespectful, then I don't even go back and forth with you. I immediately block you.
That's gonna be the sound. That's gonna be the sound for a block. Boop. You're blocked. I love it. And you're absolutely right. We should be able to be upfront and honest. It's just, I'm on the fence with it. I understand SoDebNair, I understand Easy, and I also agree with Rainier. Being honest is always the best policy, just like one of the comments that came in. Being a grown man, be honest. I learned to not lead people on. I'm honest as I don't like when it's done to me. Meaning you don't like when you're lied to, so you be honest and transparent and upfront. Absolutely. Damien said, DQ, that's because you're from the South. You don't like to disappoint anybody, hurt anybody's feelings. You're right, Damien. I'm just a Southern boy through and through. You need to identify yourself. You're absolutely right, Liz. You just we should all identify ourselves.
That's my
what's up, Auntie? Mark says, Easy reminds me of a serial dater that would forget his lies.
Oh, I've been dating the same nigga for we have our ups and downs and everything. Like you can slide in the DM, but we having an off week. I don't know what's going on. That nigga crazy. He lost his damn mind.
We fighting this week, but I still love him.
Still love him. I'm in here making him hamburger helper right now.
Now, for this user, we don't know who you are. If you go to our description on Facebook, click that link that's in the description for Facebook to use your likeness so we can know who you are, but we'll read your comment anyway. It says, some people enjoy chasing someone in a relationship, a whole challenge in their eyes. Be careful out there. That is very true. Yeah, that's true. People like the chase, and they like, they may not break up a happy home, but they'll fuck up an apartment.
We all been there. Like no one wants to be labeled as a home wrecker, but we all to rearrange some furniture once or twice
in an apartment. Yes.
Cleared that whole thing out.
I think that's what I get when I tell that lie that I have a man, because they're like, well, I mean, how's things going with you and your boo? Like, you know, if things don't work out, you know, I'm here, blah blah. It doesn't stop. So that's why I can't even tell that lie, because they don't give a damn.
Let me tell you something. Every time y'all say something about that, I'm reminded of some of the stuff that I replied back with. Like that one right there, I remember a DM, and I'm just like, you know, we're having an off period, but you know, I'm looking at God right now. Like it's like I'm praying on it. We're gonna be fine though. But I appreciate you reaching. Like there have been.
My favorite line used to be when they were like, "Oh, you so fun." Like, my man tells me that every day. But they didn't mind telling me that every day too. So like, what the work is.
Why do y'all put so much effort and I'm not interested? See, that's probably what happened to the boy with the person across the hall. He just didn't want to be mean, and now it interrupted. So how hard is it to say no?
I think because on the inside, a lot of us we don't like rejection, so we always put that off on everybody else. But some people that are doing this are probably okay with it, but we put our own feelings into that, and so we don't reject them because personally we don't like to be rejected.
That's probably true, SoDebNair. That's probably very true. A lot of us don't like rejection. A lot of us come from rejection in some form or fashion. So we do everything that we can not to make people feel the way that we feel in regards to rejection. But at the end of the day, that is kind of toxic. It's very toxic. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. That's toxic behavior. Let's go.
I'm gonna have to learn how to do that, because I mean, honestly, I cringe when I have to do it. Seriously, I do.
Yeah, it's a hard thing. It's especially when they're older. Like if the older guys be in your DMs, and you just be like,
"Ooh, yeah.
Like, sir, you're like you could be my father, you could be my grandfather. Like, come on."
I'm just gonna start.
Don't do the older people like that. Don't do the older people like that. That's who I really feel bad for. Don't do us like that. Don't do us like that. Because I consider myself older.
Okay.
How old am I? I'm 45. You know, I'm saying that don't do us like that.
That's okay. But let me tell you why that's a problem. Because, so I'm going to tell you why that's a problem. So I got back on Tinder again last week. I'm swiping left and right again, right? But I'm gonna tell you why it's a problem, because the people from Tinder are on Jack, they on Grindr, they on Facebook dating, and so when you swipe left on them, or let's say you swipe right or whatever, they were able to get a message to you at some point. Then they go onto all the other apps and they still send you these same messages all the time, and it's always the older people. And when I say older, I'm thinking like over close to 60. Between 55 and 60. It doesn't change for me.
You know, you can turn that off, right? Like there's settings on these apps that allow like I only want 35 to 45 hitting me up. Like there's settings on these things for you to.
Yeah, but if the older guy puts he wants 20 to 70, then I'm still gonna pop up in his search messages.
Not if you set your settings up.
I don't know if that's true, because I've seen people that are way older. Let me tell you, or even like with Tinder, like let's say my age bracket was 35 to 50. After I hit that age bracket, they'll be like, "Oh, we're going to open up for more people, so we're going to take it to 30 to 60." Like they will just do it on their own.
You can deny that because they be trying to get me to do the same damn thing. No, I'm staying right here.
So we'll have a Tinder tutorial offline so we can make sure that y'all get this squared away. Let me make sure that we don't offend anybody that's watching. We're not, as far as the old crowd, we're not bashing by no means. You know, that's a Social Security blessing for somebody, just not for.
I'm ready for it. What's up?
It can be, and that's wonderful. However,
I'll push you around the park. What's up?
I think the conversations that come out of of what I can personally speak from my experience when it comes to inboxes from older people. It's not. It's very creepy, to say the least. But I'm gonna move on because I didn't do a good job of fixing that up and making it really cute.
I was waiting for you to bring it around.
I did.
Let me say this. There are some older men that are very attractive. They don't even probably look like they're that age. It's not always that, but there are certain people that are on social media. I mean, they'd be like, you'll get that, hey, I want to be a sugar daddy thing. I mean, it is always some, like, where did you come
There's
from?
always an exception to the rule.
Yeah,
right?
Like everybody who's older is not unattractive.
Exactly.
It wasn't that. It was that the statement, and I know you said you don't consider me older, but I mean, usually because my people is 12 years younger than me, then I'm usually the oldest person in the room. So I usually end up being, that person. But I'm saying that the way that you said it, like, oh, I don't want to reject them because they're older. Like, I might have been their last line, so I don't want to hurt their feelings, and then they go somewhere and be on a, I've fallen and I can't get up kind of situation. So that's the way you said it.
So
everybody in the room was like, yeah, don't do that. Just tell us it. You know what? If you have uncomfortability with saying no, and I saw the comment pop up on the side, you can really just say, I'm not interested that way, but we could be cool. Or I'm not interested that way. Keep it moving. Sometimes the word no is a sentence, and you worry that it's going to hurt the other person, but you can say, hey, I'm not interested in you like that, but you seem like a cool person.
But you got to be careful with that too.
See, there's that being nice in the DMs thing.
I would say
you got to be careful with that because people will take that as, okay, we can be cool. I still have a chance. And there's people who will wait on you to go through your dating process and wait till you get to that little space where you just can't figure it out. And they feel like that's their move again. I've seen that happen before multiple times.
The Steve Urkel syndrome. I got it.
Yeah.
Let's go to some more comments. Vocals New York, what's up, fam? Vocal says, I have a friend who does that. Love other people's men. Oh. I don't get it. Just find a man of your own. It's a hot mess. That was previous, the previous conversation.
Okay. I was about to say, wait a minute, what were we talking about?
Yeah, we were talking, we're catching up.
Okay, got you.
When they slide in the DMs, I politely say thank you, but I'm not interested. That's all. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Just say no, says Juan. What's up, Juan? Nobody wants to be the bad guy. This is true, Mike. Nobody wants to be the one to be
Michael Reese?
I don't know if that's your Michael Reese.
Nobody wants to be the bad guy, but then you become the annoyed guy. So you got to make a choice. Like, what do you want? Do I want this done, or do I want to be annoyed? Because those are two different things. So
that's true.
Make that decision. Or like someone just said, don't respond at all. You just
that don't work either.
Yeah, I'm about to say it.
What's going on in your inbox? Maybe I need to slide in your DM. Let me see what's going on in your inbox.
Let me tell you, those Africans are relentless. Like those ones coming from like my Facebook DMs coming from South Africa is ridiculous.
If I get one more request on either platform from anybody that lives that
when they want to move from the app to WhatsApp.
Oh gosh.
Yes, I'm not downloading WhatsApp app. I'm not doing it, sir.
and then
that's the only way they can talk to you. God, allergy reaction. That's the only way they can talk to you through WhatsApp.
Then you get hit with, I have a wonderful opportunity for you.
Next question. We gotta go. Because this is about to go downhill. It's about to go downhill. Next question. Bring it up right now. Number 2. What you said? Come on, let's go.
All right.
Are you going to turn 40 to 400?
Yes. Come on. Next question. You ain't about to do this. Nope. You know about not tonight. Not tonight.
Okay.
Nope.
So like I was coming to America too just now.
Exactly. Nope. We're not about to do this.
Okay.
You're gonna set us up for failure. I promise.
All right. Oh. Oh man, I'm sorry. I had to. I had to. All right. There's so many comments. I hate that I'm missing y'all. I really wanted to shine some light on some of the comments but what about just not responding at all? Yes, you're absolutely right.
That doesn't work.
Wadan said Jaleel White is gorgeous. I'm just saying.
Have you seen his father? Oh, sorry.
He looks like Stefan Urkel. It's
yes,
just,
his father is gorgeous.
Yeah. Something about the Africans with me. Nope, not answering it. What's up, LaBelle? I love LaBelle. If you guys follow LaBelle on any platform, listen. Okay, all right. We're gonna move on to the next one.
I saw that comment. I saw that.
Since I'm wrong, I'm just gonna move on to the next one. My bad, folks.
When the people in the comments tell you to move on, it's
time to move on.
It's time to move on.
All right. So the next relationship topic. We recite vows to our prospective husband or wife on our wedding day. But how do you feel about vows upon entering into a new relationship with a prospective boyfriend or girlfriend? So you recite vows on your wedding day to your husband or your wife. How do you feel about vows for a new relationship or prospective boyfriend or girlfriend?
That's something new.
I actually like that.
Not opposed to it.
I think that would be pretty good.
I think I agree with you guys. I think that would set the tone for, the journey that you all were. What happened?
I was going to say those same words you just said.
I
was like, ooh, SoDebNair caught the Holy Ghost. What is happening? Yes, it just sets the tone for your expectation of the relationship, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be a great source of communication.
Yeah.
So, for anybody that's just joining, like, I've been a relationship wellness coach for 10 years. So I work with couples and everything. And so I have said to couples, create a vision. Like how you do a vision statement or a mission statement, create one for your relationship. Update each other every year. When you're making your vision board for yourself, make a vision board for your relationship and what you want to accomplish. I think that's an amazing thing to do. Just to have a proclamation of, these are the things that I vow to be to you and with you while we go through this journey. I think that's beautiful. I would hesitate to say, though, if you're going to do that, then be careful of stuff like the death do you depart and all that other, that finite type or infinite, type of language that you might put in a wedding vow. You got to be careful not to say things in your relationship vow that mirror a wedding vow. And then when all of a sudden things are not working, then it's like, oh, well, you said you're never going to leave me. You said you're never going to hurt me. You said all of that. So there is intention. There's a beautiful intention in wanting to create a vow with someone. Just be careful that you are not mixing up the two and putting things in there because you don't went online and look for a template on how to write vows.
Honestly, she kind of answered that, wrapped it up in a nice little bow, and presented it to the world. I have nothing to go along to add to.
Well, I do want to say something though, because y'all know y'all know sometimes with the gays we get in relationships after like 2 or 3 days. We're not creating vows in 3 days.
Well, first of all, y'all haven't even said your damn vows yet for the relationship. So like.
But I just want to make sure, like, there's we are deciding that this is going to, happen, and there's a certain time frame that's not within the first month, maybe, for us to start doing this. Like, let's get to know each other first before we say, hey, let's create this.
6 months, at least 6 months, because it takes 90 days at least for the mask to start to do this. Mm-hmm. It takes at least 90 days for you to start seeing some things. And that's, and you talked about that being in relationship within 3 days or things like that. and they always joke about the lesbians being the U-Hauls. Like, you're already in the home, and here come the mask, and you like, oh snap, So 6 months before you start writing vows to someone, even intentions or affirmations or whatever type of other words you want to use for it, give it at least 6 months before you start with all of that, because you need at least 90 days for you to start seeing the things that you might not like.
Right.
I
agree with that.
Yeah.
I saw something. I saw something that you had posted, like 2 posts before, or someone said. I think it was from one of my friends. Her name is Shonda. It said something about creating insecurities.
Let's go back to that. Let's see. Is it Snowden?
Yeah.
Yep. She said sets the tone for further insecurities.
I can see that. I can see that happening as well. But again, I think that's for people who are not really getting into relationships for the relationship based off of just kind of like surface things. Like, I mean, I for me, I just feel like with dating, and I was having this conversation with someone on Tinder the other day. I'm like, they're like, well, what brings you onto the app? And I'm like, well, I would hope, my goal was to try to date. But the more you swipe, you realize that people have different reasons why they're on there. You know what I'm saying? So we would have to kind of match on what like relationship wise, or even while we're trying to date, if we're compatible in that sense of space, and then spend some time together and come up at a time frame where we say, hey, I feel like I want to take this serious, and it's a mutual thing.
Yeah. I think that, we're all echoing the same sentiment, which is, this is not something you do in the very beginning of the relationship. This is something, as Dr. Rainier mentioned, 6 months at the very least, because that is when the beginnings of the mask will then slide off. We've got a lot of people chiming in on this one because they enjoy this portion of the conversation. Perspective, you better learn what I like for dinner first. Absolutely. So it said it's just like extending credit. You have to prove yourself first.
Right.
That's a good analogy. I like that idea. Mark
I
says,
agree with CR. I agree with CR. There is, and I think I know her. I think that's one of my old friends. But yes, I agree with that. There's something that comes when you start talking vows. There's a seriousness to that. That's not something you play with. That is something that means I am interested in taking this further. And these are the things that I am speaking to you. Not we're having fun and now I'm just going to act like I'm going to give vows to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And don't walk into the situation with your vows thinking I'm about to abide by these things, and we don't even know each other like that.
Yeah, absolutely. LaBelle says, exactly, because dating and marriage are 2 different commitments.
Very much so.
Well, vows are to be what you intend to do towards the person. It's not supposed to be what you expect them to do towards you. So, and again, I don't think this should be something that you do without conversation. I don't think that you should pop up one day and be like, lo and behold, I vow to love you for the rest. I don't think that should be the case. I think there should be a conversation like, baby, this has been going great. There's something that I would like to do as we move into our relationship. I would like to exchange. And I don't think you should call them vows if y'all dating. I think that's risky. Because if we just 6 months in and you like, and I'm not necessarily where you are at the already there, then I'm be like, you're talking about wedding vows? What's going on here? So I think there should be a conversation with what they mean, and don't just spring them on someone expecting them to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. I think that there's a pre-conversation that has to happen.
And that's why I say that, because a lot of times I may come in as, I'm trying to date, and this is what it is, but this other person may come in and like he already want a husband, he want to have children, and he got life planned out already before we even started dating. And he's been watching me on social media for a long time. And so now that we are talking, this is his goals. Like it can't be that kind of setup. And I think it's important for us to say that because there are different age ranges of people that watch this show. And I don't want people to walk in like, oh, they said make vows for the relationship, because then we're gonna be responsible for people needing vows for them dating. And I think that it is when this becomes a committed relationship, maybe, you know, in that time frame, it makes sense. But not while y'all dating and getting to know each other. Like if this is something that you guys are agreeing upon, like seriously dating each other, whatever those vows look like for you guys, I feel like I think that's a dope idea.
Yeah.
I better put for entertainment purposes only underneath. You know, I better start putting that underneath stuff.
We'll add that to the description. Because Teresa says words have power. You can build and destroy your relationship with what you say.
Absolutely.
Truth says old school vows should be for marriage. Understandable. Totally understandable. We don't do vows in my culture. We just agree with the priest.
Maybe if you just take the word vows away and give it a new name. Because because I see some of the people in the comments, you know, vows for marriage. I get that, but maybe if like having a conversation about how you want your relationship to be, like that's really all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a conversation between the two of you about what you expect from each other, and that's it, just a conversation. So maybe you just take the word vows off of it and put a new word to it. Maybe that could open up some things for some other people.
And like Rainier said, or, you know, give it a different name, make it, you know, a commitment statement, or make it you know, mission statement, if you will, for your relationship.
We'll call it intentions or affirmations or whatever fun thing that you want to create. I think vows gives the connotation of matrimony. That's just my personal opinion. And as Therese said, words have power. You know, you got to be careful what you say to someone, especially if y'all new in the relationship. They'll shut that thing down because you scared them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. That's really good. Yeah. Teach the people. Let them know.
All in all, whatever looks good for you.
Right. Our last relationship topic for the night. At what point should a person just walk away from a relationship that offers no growth, no engagement? Basically, you feel like everything is so complacent. At what point should a person just walk away from a relationship that offers no growth?
When you find yourself sitting down typing that email up to SoDebNair, like, child, if you find yourself sitting in front of the computer typing affairs of the heart, this question, it's time for you to just go ahead and pack your shit up and go home. Or like, I don't understand. But did I say something wrong? Because I like. If you find yourself sitting at home writing this right here, go to the closet, take the stuff off the hangers, pack your suitcase, and go on.
And go to your mama's house.
Like,
hell.
She just know that crazy. I'm just being honest. Like, you guys here to be real with the people. Like, if you find yourself really thinking that, like, go ahead.
If you feel like there's no engagement and basically you feel like everything is complacent, you probably already know this is a wrap. Like that ending part was the answer to your question.
Yeah. Like you answered it yourself.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Rainier, what you got?
Rainier over there.
It's hard. And then let me tell you why it's hard, because I had the same thought you did, Evie. I was like, well, if that's your question, then you already know. I think that it would depend on what's happening in the relationship. So if y'all been together 5 or 6 or 7 years and y'all living in the same home and y'all hitting this stretch where things are just in routine and you feel complacent, then you might want to go talk to a relationship therapist, relationship coach, or start doing new activities, doing stuff out of your routine to see if you can get out of it. But if you 3 months in, 6 months in, and you talking about you complacent and you're feeling the way, then that ain't it. That's not it. Because usually you know when you start having those conversations, you've been in a movement, in a momentum with the person. If you're having that conversation in 30 days, then there's your answer. They just may not be, y'all not compatible on that. You're not compatible on that way. And that's just my 25 cents. Someone else may feel differently. But if you in that point.
Can I add 10 cents to your 25 cents? What if this letter was written by the dude who lives across the street about the other guy? Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
Oh, that was great.
That seems like that kind of situation.
Yeah.
That's great. That's so great. That's so great. You have had to have been here if you guys didn't hear the letter from our heartbeat. If you did, then you just got the joke that Easy made. But it's true. That's the same kind of people, and they're not talking to each other. Yeah. They're just this is what's going on in their own individual heads. Hilarious. Let's go to some of the comments. Let's see. I have so many niggas tell me shit after they get under my pants. It's a different story. Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for sharing.
I don't know.
All right. Before they lose who they are is the proper time to stop engaging. As soon as you recognize there's no growth, why waste any more time? Absolutely, Kim. Absolutely. We agree with you there. Mark says
Wait. So if you DQ, if you're in a situation and you've been in this situation for not a situation, but a relationship for 2 or 3 years, and you're feeling, all of a sudden complacent, then do you just be like, all right, I'm out? Because I feel like sometimes complacency comes from being redundant. Complacency comes from your boredom, something's not happening for you. So do you now say, well, maybe I should, see what's going on here, or do you just be gone? Because I have the same question. I think someone said, I don't know, Dwayne, if you see it, it says define complacent versus comfortable. Because complacency is something else. Like you're okay with it not being okay.
But that wasn't the only problem. There was no growth, no engagement, and basically you feel everything is complacent. I'm gonna tell you why that's a problem. Because if there's no growth in your relationship, let's say we were together for 6 months, and at 6 months, let's say we're together for a year, and at the 6-month mark, there was no growth in my relationship, and I just feel like it's not going anywhere. We're not having any kind of conversations where we're trying to figure out what is this. And the way we've talked about this on the podcast before, where it's like you get to that place where it's like, where do we go from here? Should I even ask? Is this going to be like a relationship, or are we just going to kind of like just keep dating or whatever? Like at some point, like something has to be said or done that makes me feel like, this is like something that we're going to work on to be like life partners, or are we just dating and trying to figure it out? But if we're just trying to figure it out, like, let me know that, at some point, because after a while, it does get confusing for people. It's like, well, what are we doing?
See, I got confused at the question, because the question said, I'm a Virgo, I'm literal. At what point should a person walk away from a relationship? For me, dating you and being in a relationship with you are two different things. When I'm dating you and it's no engagement and no growth, I'm out. If I'm in a relationship with you and we have, been on this journey for however long we've been on this journey, then I have a different investment in you. So I'm trying to see why there is no growth, why there is no engagement. And then if we can't figure it out, then I'm out. But when you say relationship, then we shouldn't be talking about what is this, because we're in a relationship, so we've already agreed to somewhat what this is. So that was my fault in the question. So I agree with you if we're coming from that place.
But I mean, even if you're in a relationship, I guess the part that may stick out to me even more is that there's no engagement. Like, you're in a relationship and you guys are not really engaging. To me, there's just so many red flags in there. I guess just coming from personal experience, I guess I've been in this place before in my past relationship where it kind of got stunned. It's like it's almost the point. Like, one time, I feel like I had flew to a whole other place and left my partner in another place because it just was like in a place where I just was like, I don't get it. Like, what's going on here? And like, we've talked about this multiple times. Still, nothing has changed. So like, at this point, I'd have flew to a whole other state and a whole other city and moved away. You don't even know. So I guess in my mind, that's where I'm coming from. It's because it's like, maybe personally, I've been in this place, so I understand it.
I feel like once you start having the conversations and there's no change in the relationship, that's when it's time to go. Like, I look back on my statement. It's just not like, okay, I see no growth. I see no, I see nothing changing. I'm not just packing up because, like you said, it's a relationship. I've invested time. I've invested energy. I've invested in you. And I need to figure out, are we going to wake up and not choose each other, or are we going to wake up and choose each other? Like, because if we're waking up and choosing each other, that means we're fighting for this relationship. If we're waking up and just like, this ain't it. Like, let's have the hard conversation so we don't waste each other's time. So,
but I guess it all comes from actually having a conversation as well.
You gotta have a conversation. Without the conversation, you don't know where you're going. Yeah,
because I'll tell you this. I had a conversation with Juan and G, and we were having a conversation about, the butterflies behind your relationship. And G was saying, they do leave, but they come back. It just takes you that space with each other. The foundation of that is what keeps bringing you guys back to each other. Yes, every day is not going to be the greatest day, but if I'm feeling like, I'm out here by myself and we've been talking and, nothing is getting to a place where we may come to a common ground or anything like that, I guess for me it would be kind of concerning, because it's like, how do you fight for something and not even know if your partner's even in that anymore? You know what I mean?
But it all boils down to having that conversation. You got to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
Because they may feel completely different from where you're feeling.
Right.
They may not even know.
That's it, right there. They're coming from their perspective. Yeah. They're coming from. I never forget. I had a girlfriend. She was like, "Oh, everything was beautiful. It was great. It was." And she was telling, "How's your relationship?" It was great. It's beautiful. I love her. And I was at home like, "What? this thing is hell. What are you talking about?" I had to correct her. I was like, "Stop telling people we happy. We ain't happy. Let's bring it home. Don't touch it." But that's what I'm saying. Like, everything that is from a perspective. And if the other individual is getting everything that they need, to them, everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that's lacking what you need. So then that's where the conversation comes into play. Like, no, boo, I'm not. I'm not. And so SoDebNair hit it on the head. If I gotta have this conversation with you 3 or 4 times, I start to treat you like a job. A job only gives you a warning and a suspension, and then you're fired. Like, that's where we at with that. So when I have to keep coming back and saying, "Babe, I told you, like, I need something more. Babe, I told you I need something more." By the 3rd time, either I have totally checked out on you and I done already got more. Don't judge me. I'm just telling the truth. Or I done left and there is no more with you. So it's just this middle way. Just being honest. Like, so y'all asked me to come here, so I'm just being honest.
So y'all asked me.
It's nothing like a Virgo, like checking out. When we check out, a wrap. Like for us, it's like we're done, and like you honestly like disappear in our minds seriously, because if we keep having the same conversation and you are not giving us anything different, and you can't just say it, you have to show it. After a while, it doesn't resonate in my mind that this is going to be something I can keep. I'm gonna have to lower you down to a different type of level of associate or something like that gradually into something, because this relationship is not where it's at.
Right.
Literal again.
What you say?
Literal.
What you say? Easy.
All right. Is that on that, folks? Are we good?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Let's go to the nasty, the freaky, the sex topics.
Oh, well, that's my time. I'll see y'all later.
Let me sip.
All right. Refresh it. We'll let you do a commercial break, get your drinks ready, get your life together while we get these sex topics in order. Refill your drink, tell your good girlfriend to tune in because it's about to get crazy. All right. So the first
that was the quickest commercial break I've ever.
I know, right? I didn't have anything to cut to.
Said I was going to try to give me a tissue. I was out there. My nose and my face is running. I was like, "Oh, we back?" Oh, okay.
I personally wasn't going to go anywhere, but that was like.
I didn't have anything. You want to go to we can take a real break. If you want to go to the bathroom, go ahead.
I'm good.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. We're good. I got more than one. Y'all just keep saying it looks alike, but I got more than one.
Okay. So we will actually take a break so that SoDebNair can go to the restroom, Rainier can grab some more tissue, and Easy can break out his fan.
Oh, she right here. She don't go right.
I love it. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, make sure you go to the Affairs of the Heart podcast. If you're just joining us or you're just tuning in and you missed the beginning, we have our sister on, Dr. Rainier Amin. She is a relationship and love coach. And she is my sister. When I tell you she is my sister, I don't use that term lightly. She literally is my sister. And she is someone that is so instrumental in all areas and aspects of my life. We support each other. We encourage each other. We've cried on each other's shoulder. We've laughed at each other. We've picked each other up off the floor. And so I'm just so grateful to have her. Please utilize her platform. If you are interested in relationships, coaching, as well as LGBTQ faith healing and faith matters, you can check her out at pinklovewellness.com. Please patronize her and go to her website, check her out. You can also follow her on IG at Rainier Amin. All right, so I made a commercial while y'all were getting it together. All right, are you ready?
Ready.
We're ready. All right, let's get into it. First sex question. What have you said silently while having sex? What have you said silently while having sex?
Just open it.
I have silently said, I can't wait till it's my turn.
Oh, I can't wait till it's my turn. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Not from like, it depends on where we start. But if there's certain things happening and you are making me feel a certain way, oh, I can't wait to get you. Oh Lord, I can't wait.
Oh, that's a different perspective.
Yeah.
Like you wait until I'm hitting a high score.
Right. I'll make you change your name.
Wow. Easy. What have you said during sex?
I don't even know.
Silently. What have you said?
Silently? I thought I was gonna die.
You thought they was choking you too hard, E?
No, I literally thought I was dying. I'm like, oh God, this is it. This is it. Like,
This is it.
I don't know why I went back to that moment, but I definitely. I look back on it now. I'm just like, boy, it was just that good, and I didn't know what was going on, and I like, oh my god, like it was like my whole body was trembling, and I remember like there were tears like rolling back on the sides of my face, and I remember like I couldn't like my hands were just like, what the hell? This is it. This is the day. I'm going like.
This is
like,
it.
This is it.
Can you imagine if you had woke up on the other side and you catch your breath and you're just like, oh, this
it's
really
one of
was
my
it.
greatest. It's one of my greatest fears. Like going in an awkward position because like you gotta find the body. So it's just like somebody gotta tell your mama. Well, he was on all fours and like I ain't got time for that. Like I don't.
Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth that they're supposed to call.
Well, hopefully they fix you before they call the emergency squad. Though
I was just like, it was like I'm afraid of going in the worst possible position. Like it.
Oh God!
Somebody got to go in and find you. Someone's gonna have to see it first. So it's
somebody is there with you.
but also, what
this ain't law and order? They supposed to cover you up.
What if no one is there with you? What if no one is there with you and you just got the bottle of lube in one hand and Coco Dawn's playing on the TV? Like it's just a mess. It's just a whole mess. Like you got your freak Twitter on the TV going. Like,
and you got your motorized dildo just
going. And you couldn't stop the shit because
the batteries.
Yes. And you couldn't stop the shit because you put new batteries in the damn thing. So
what if you have one of the machines?
The machine, yes, that's what I'm talking about. The one that just yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't.
Oh God!
I'm sorry, my bad.
That was great.
Next question.
SoDebNair, what have you said silently during sex?
I'm gonna give you a good one and a bad one. The bad one is this almost over? I'm over it. I have a time limit.
Okay.
How do I get this man off me? I think the other one is probably I was just kind of cussing him out, but it actually came out.
Rainier, just let it go. Just don't even just.
Nope. He died on top of me. What you mean get him off of you?
Like I'm trying to think of a creative way to say, like, bruh, it's 15 minutes is up. You got to go. You got to get a.
How about you just put a timer by the bed?
No, I know when 15 minutes is up. Believe me.
No, I know, but they don't know. So what if you put a timer by the bed and let them know, like you better hit that?
They don't have a 15-minute limitation either. But I'm saying that's first. Most of the time, we don't have to do all that. So, but if it's lasting for a long period amount of time, then I'm like, listen, bro, this is lasting
15 minutes isn't even foreplay. Like, what is?
No, foreplay is not involved in the sexual act for me.
Give me a good 45 minutes.
And the sex all together with the foreplay and the sex.
Okay, so all together, how much time?
The max is going to be 45 minutes, but 30 of those minutes better be foreplay. I'm no stop.
On that note, I am not touching.
No. What's the next sex topic?
We
got to do Dwayne too.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
What have I said? Whatever.
Yes.
Okay. What have I said silently during sex? Oh God. I'll give two perspectives, being that I'm a convertible top. Right. As a bottom, I have said it didn't look that big in the picture. And as a top, I've said, did this nigga just shit on my
Oh.
But I'm mad at you because if anybody knows, you're supposed to take pictures into scale. There's a scale for pictures. You're not supposed to look at them as you send them. You're supposed to take them into Photoshop and scale them against what is real. Like, I'm mad at you. The other part, I'm not touching that.
I'm just saying. I'm being honest.
Yes, seriously. Sometimes the pictures do not do them just as big or small. They don't. We've talked about this before.
I've just been like, I don't know if I was prepared for what I'm about to encounter. This is not what we talked about. This is not what we agreed upon. Or if you get there and it doesn't even look like the picture they sent at all. Like it's somebody else's.
And that's when they're a little bit.
Let's go to some of the comments. The people are rolling on this topic. Let's see. Kim says she loves you, Rainier, by the way. You're the bomb. Wandan's comment is, are you done? Yes, of course. Kim says she's gonna plead the fifth on this one. She's not gonna mention it. Mark says it's been so long I can't remember what he said. Okay. Now this is probably my favorite. His breath stinks and his stroke is beyond weak.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
There is nothing there's nothing like when the breath is hot.
Can we have a moment of silence?
A moment of silence.
My thing is how he get in the bedroom if the breath stink. Because I'm gonna cut things off right there.
There's some Listerine on the counter in the bathroom.
No.
I need you to go in there and work it out.
You're not using Listerine.
We social distancing. You ain't know.
And funky breath. No.
I mean, okay.
Now
you said mint and funky breath?
I don't need that. Listerine do not always fix bad breath.
Okay, there's some. There's some.
He needs to go to a dentist.
I can't.
Because there's something in the back of that throat that ain't right.
Don't throw babies.
Jabu says, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Forgive me if I did not. It was a girl that I could not stand outside of the bedroom. Every communication led to an argument, but the sex was amazing. Why is this pussy so good that I cannot leave this chick alone?
Jabu, I'm high five. I'm doing this with you. I'm doing this with you.
I mean, that's what he said. He said, why can't I do it? I don't understand.
That's my straight friend.
I didn't hear you.
That's my straight friend.
All right. Well, we appreciate you.
I'm high-fiving your straight friend. You get a bathroom. I can't stand this. You just
listen. All right. You want to go to the next? Let's go to the next topic. The next sex topic. This is a long one.
Oh, Lord.
If you are about to have sex with someone and they are not fully engaged, is it your fault? Theirs, or do you try and help them fully get engaged?
I got like 12 scenarios in my head right now.
12?
Was this a personal experience, a question from you?
Not from me, no.
Oh, okay.
I don't have these problems.
How do you have 12 scenarios though?
Because I'm thinking like, one, I guess because I'm gonna go over analyze this whole situation. Would I help them get engaged? I would have to probably really like the person. Like this was like I got on Jax and the person came over and they weren't fully engaged. Sir, get your shit and get out. If this was someone that I really liked, I probably would be like in a mixed emotion, like, are they not attracted to me? But also probably wanted to see if I can help get them engaged in this sex. But I probably was still overthinking, like, why are they not really engaged in this
Virgo.
I'm so glad you're here, Rainier. Oh, I'm so glad you're here as another Virgo. Good Lord. Why are we even doing it in the first place if you're not engaged?
I'm ready.
Why if we're doing the app route and we've exchanged pictures and conversations and what we're gonna do to each other, et cetera, and we hook up and you're like a limp noodle, or you're not really into the situation, then why are we here?
Well, I can say this. Sometimes these guys come over and they're on drugs and they can't get it up.
Okay, that's not technically your fault though. Like,
yeah, but you don't. I mean, for me, like, I don't know who's on drugs. Honestly, I mean, I really couldn't tell. So you don't. I wouldn't know that. And then also, what they send you, like photo wise, may not what they look like when they get here either. So, or vice versa when I get there.
We're going to go to that comment just for the sake of what you just said, because it in line. Vocals New York, who is a faithful follower and a heartbeat, says, listen, my friend is so rude, but if you show up to his door and you don't look nothing like your photo, the doors get slammed right in your face.
The door is closed, Portia. You are a bad friend, Portia.
Yeah, I just don't. And I have my own issues with rejection and like insecurities in that aspect. So like if you're not engaged, I automatically am like, is it me? Did I? What's going on? Like what happened? Something happened in the course of the conversation, the exchange that led up to this, and now you are just dry. I can't. That bothers me greatly personally. But anything else? Easy, Rainier, what you got? Nothing? Okay.
We on the same page. Me and Renee on the same page.
I don't know what to say to that, because
neither.
If you show okay, so the limp noodle thing, and I'm going to answer this from both perspectives, because I am a lesbian, but for my teen years to my early 20s, I was something. So yeah, I wasn't bi, I was just something, and so I get that when men are very excited, it may be hard for them to get it up. If you show up in my space and you're not engaged in it, I'm not engaging it. I'm just not. If we got to switch to a Netflix movie, something, or I got to ask you to leave. It depends on what your intention was when you came over. Now, if you just a situation or a fuck moment, then you are failing at your mission. If you're failing at your mission, then you got to go. Like, that's your intention to come in here was for you to give me some. So if you're not going to give me some, then we don't need to discuss anything. Have a good night. Be blessed. However, if we're in a relationship and for some reason you're not engaged, I'm going to have a conversation with you. Say, baby, what's on your mind? Is there anything that I'm going to do that's going to help you feel better? If you say, no, that's not going to help me feel better, then I'm going to let you be. But I'm not going to sit and teach you. If we have been on this journey and you're supposed to come into this room engaged, I'm not here to be a teacher. If I'm here to be a teacher, then let's talk about what I'm supposed to teach you. But if I got to teach you to be engaged, then you're not the one to be in my life. You're trying to be a student. I'm not here for that. I'm too old for that. I'm not doing that. All right. My apologies for me. I'm just
baby. Sis said, I have some practice and some experience in this.
You don't think y'all drink tonight? Because you rung that bell.
Yes. I agree. There's nothing to be said.
I didn't even think of it from a relationship point, this happening. I probably kind of like, I guess that'll probably be the time, like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
You got to, because this from a relationship aspect, there could be a lot of things that go wrong, especially if you guys have been together for so long. Like it could be work related, it could be emotional, it could be stress, it could be a number of things. And if you're not communicating those things, like she said, you got to sit down and have a talk. We got to talk about this because we're in this together.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree.
I have a favor.
Yes.
That comment that says I might teach a younger person though, from Jabu. Jabu, if we're not pronouncing your name right, please say so because I really, as Renair, I hate messing up someone's name, so I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly. I don't mind teaching I want to make this comment clear. I don't mind teaching a young person if that's what we agreed to. But if we agreed for you to come and snatch my life, then I'm expecting you to come and snatch my life. If you show up and you're like, I'm not sure how to snatch your life, can you please teach me a few things that I'm asking you to go home because you hyped me. You gave me an expectation. So when we're talking about having sex with someone, what was the expectation you set up? If you came and said you was going to blow my back and my entire life and solar system out, then I'm expecting you to show up and do that. Don't come at my door and then say you need some assistance.
That's not.
Nah,
that's like selling me a brand new car with no gas. What the fuck are we doing? What the hell am I supposed? What am I supposed to do with this? You park a brand new car in front of my house and ain't no gas in it. What the hell?
I never had a problem with a younger guy though, ever.
Right. And so I want to say, because the room is like lighting up, if a relationship is different. This question did not state if it was from a relationship point or a dating point. From a relationship point, you take care of your partner because you know them and you know that something is happening that they're not able to perform, they're not able to give, they're not showing up the way that they might normally do. And even if they don't tell you what the issue is, you know your partner well enough to know something is not right.
Right.
So we're saying all of this. We're not talking about relationship because relationship says, baby, you may not be engaged, but I'm going to still love on you in every way to make you feel good.
Right.
So we don't have to have sex, but I'm going to make sure you feel good. That's relationship. We dating or you came off an app. I don't owe you nothing.
You only have one job.
And an exit. That's all I owe you. A time and an exit. Figure it out.
I love it. Okay. I think that is that on that. Period. Period. Point blank. And the last topic for tonight, everyone, is what's the worst sexual encounter you have had and why? The worst sexual encounter that you have had and why? Rainier is pointing to all of us. Will you all go first? That's a hard question. It's a hard question.
I can think about that.
Yeah.
I must not have read this one. I sent this because I don't remember this.
I was about to say, did you write? Didn't you?
Well, I just have a list and I copied the ones that are next and I sent them to Dwayne.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I thought this came, like you said you didn't even. See, let me not. That's behind the scenes stuff. Let me not. I learned my lesson.
I have the same opportunity that I had to answer these questions like it's new to me and them as well. So that's why I copy and paste what I get.
I love that.
Your worst sexual encounter.
Oh God.
Okay, you got one. Go ahead.
Because I don't want you to laugh though, Dwayne.
Let me mute myself right now.
How you want to tell other people not to laugh and you can't? You over here just
No, I told Dwayne not to laugh because Dwayne knows what I'm about to say. Mine have to be my last relationship, honestly. It was the same thing over and over and over and over again. It just wasn't good to me. Like I literally, I didn't want to do it. We were together for almost 10 years. I think after the third year, I realized like we there's nothing different going to happen at this point. So
Wait.
Thank you, EZ. Go.
Wait.
I'm tagging you. Wait, which way I
Wait.
got to point? Go. I'm tagging you.
Hold on. Can we? You said 10-year relationship,
yeah,
and you realized it during the third year.
yeah.
So you stayed 7 more years.
Yeah, I was in. First of all, you have to realize this was my first relationship.
Wait, no. Wait. Because I feel like some of the questions that we addressed earlier is like, wait.
Well, but hear what I'm saying though. It was my first relationship, and I was just in love. Like I didn't really like.
Did you write that question earlier? When is it? When am I supposed to leave? When I'm not.
That wasn't me.
What?
That was. I know when to leave. That's why I left. So that's
7 years.
But everything else. Well, not everything else, but most things were cool. Were good. So I didn't really like the sex part was weird, but we also did other things outside of that. Let me say that. So it wasn't bad for me during the relationship because we did open it up to other people and things like that. So my sex life wasn't that bad during the relationship. But hindsight, but seeing things now, that wasn't the answer. And then two, honestly, I don't even think like if I had bad sex with someone else that I dated next, if everything else is good, I wouldn't leave them. SoDebNair has talked about this before. His ex didn't listen to his desires and needs. Absolutely, I've always talked about this.
But at what point in time, like if he's not listening,
the sex was not the part for me where it was time to go. Honestly, to me, I was mad. Listen, I was blind.
I'm going to step back because I'm gonna have a Virgo to Virgo moment. We need to have this after we're off air because we can't. If I can't. I heard what you said, and you're gonna say, "Oh man, you're gonna be mad at me. I'm never gonna be invited back." You can't say, "Let me."
Like the thing is, I try to teach him different things, but it just still reverted. And this is why I hate missionary sex, because that's all we ever did was the same thing over and over and over and over again. And so that's why I was like, I hate it because that's all we did for that long. So yeah, so that was
you kept teaching him and he kept failing.
Yeah, like every time we would
you have given a whole new meaning to No Child Left Behind. Like this, like I don't understand what's happening right here. Like,
but let me explain to you why though. In my family, like, listen, we were married, right? In my family, there's never been divorce in my family. So for me, I held that over anything. So to me, I was like, I can't leave him because the sex is bad. Like, I just hope that he gets it at some point. That was my mind frame at that time. You know, now that we're together, I understand. Like, I would never walk through another relationship like that. I don't even know if I can even say that, honestly. I don't even know. Somebody else go. I don't even know. But I don't know. I don't know.
So I won't address the worst sexual encounter. I just need to have a moment with you. So one of the worst things that you can do, and I'm speaking as a polyamorous person, like I'm being clear, right? Mm-hmm. And I've taught conversations on polyamory, open relationships, non-monogamy, ethical non-monogamy.
Did not know that.
See, that's why I like to share a little bit. The worst thing you can do when you have a deficit in your relationship is open it up. Because what happens is it creates a Band-Aid. When you open up your relation, and I'm saying this for all those watching, if you decide that you want to open up your relationship, swing, all those other words that you want to use, you don't do it from a place of deficit. You do it from a place of abundance. We're doing great, we're doing good, and we want to share our love. I want to share, and all of those alternative or like style of relationships have different connotations. But when you are having a deficit in your relationship and you open it up to other sexual partners and other relationship partners, it doesn't allow you to focus on the deficit that you have, because the universal principle says nature abhors a vacuum. Anything that is empty will be filled with something. So when you have an emptiness in your relationship and you fill it with sexual experiences or anything else that makes you appear to be happy, then that will be what exists, and you will not have to focus on what is wrong.
But okay, so this is the thing. That wasn't really the issue for us, because actually on day one, I asked him, I said, are we having an open relationship? Are we being monogamous? Are we doing threesomes? Like, what is it? Because it's my first relationship with a man. Like, I don't really know what it looks like. I just know what I've seen amongst friends that I've had. So he said he wanted a monogamous relationship. I kind of knew that wasn't what it was, but also it comes to the sexual positions for me and him as well. Because what he liked and what I liked were kind of two different things. And I was okay with playing my position in that. But I guess as
Why?
Because more of me was about him, period. So it didn't really matter to me.
But that's it. That's it. Right there. More of you was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, there was not this space, and I'm sorry, it is what it is. When you move into relationships, and there isn't such thing as compromise. I don't want anyone watching to think that there's not a space of compromise. If there's things that my partner likes, I may do that a little bit more so that they can get what it is that they need. But when it leaves you at a deficit, see, the word I keep getting focused on is the other D word, deficit. When there comes a moment that there is something that I need and I cannot get, even if I get it a little bit, it may create a negative, but it's not going to create a deficit. A deficit means that there is no way possible in this moment that I can get remotely equal to what I need. So when you start talking about I can't get remotely equal to what I need, and I understand love tells us that all things get better. We love that whole fairy tale thing, but we learned from Anita Baker that fairy tales look a little bit different. At the end of the day, I'm not judging you and I'm loving you in this moment. I really am. But when you come into this place, and I hope that you take this away from this conversation, anybody watching, and it's real, there's a difference between giving your partner what they need, and there's another space of giving your partner what you need and not getting anything back in return. Because when we're in relationship, what we need is to make sure that our partner is happy.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're alternative, poly, monogamous, straight, whatever. What we need is to make sure that our partner is happy and that they have everything that they need. But when what we give them is what they need and there's nothing coming back to what we need, then there has to be a different conversation or an exit. Because at some point, if I give you $1, can you at least give me $0.25? That way I know that at the fourth time I'm going to have $1. But if you're giving me a dime, it's going to take me 10 times to get the $1 that I've been giving you. I'm worth more than that.
Well, I guess for me, like, we both were learning at the same time, like, what it looked like to have a gay relationship, period. Because when we first started dating, he was still preaching. Well, I mean to give out his business, but he wasn't out like that.
I'm about to say his business is all over. Never mind.
But I'm talking about when we first started dating, that wasn't what it was. Honestly, it wasn't.
Mute your mic, easy.
So honestly, I didn't know anything about gay life, period, nothing like that. I knew around the few friends that I had, but none of them had been in relationships at all. So it wasn't like I was really educated on what that looked like as a relationship. I knew it looked like sexual. So when I got into the relationship, it was more like, you learning as you go. And the more that I learned, the more I started to realize, one, the people that I were hanging around before that were not in the place of business that he was in. So it was two different ballparks. Like I didn't like all that stuff was totally different for me. So asking the questions that I asked, I kind of got why I got the answers that I got, but I also realized that I probably did not know what I really wanted when it came to sex, period, in a gay relationship. Because again, this was my first relationship.
Oh, wait. I owe you an apology.
Hmm?
I will state I'm a Virgo and I'm truthful in everything. I did not realize that that was your first
Yeah.
relationship because that shows up different. There's a learning element, and because I'm the professional I am, I have to go back to it. There's a learning element that comes when you are venturing into an area that is not something that you are familiar with. And that goes whether you talking about relationship style, sexual positions, all that stuff. When you are being introduced to something new and you're learning with your partner or you're learning because of your partner, it shows up a little bit different.
Right.
So I will take back my Virgo axes that I threw at your neck and give you I give you like some love and care and grace. However, I will say to you this way that the lessons that you learn through that journey are lessons that you take forward that you know now that even if you are an individual that is about ethical non-monogamy or you're about other things that as it relates to your partner because it sounds like and this is not that moment but it sounds like that there was elements of in learning becomes I'm learning the love language that we have to speak opposed to learning the love language that I desire to speak and in this exit and then it's time that you've learned the love language that you desire to speak. But I will say this to you because based on some of the things we talked about today, then those are the conversations that you have to have. For anyone that comes in your space, whether they are learning you and you're learning them, you've learned what works for you and you've learned what doesn't.
Right. Well, and
And there
that's
is,
the reason why
yeah.
we even had the podcast here. I mean, I went to the podcast because one, like I didn't even like the way we got together. It was so fast that I never had a dating process when it came to like a gay relationship and stuff like that. We got together in like 3 days. We moved in together after the third day. So I've never had a dating process, nothing like that. Now I'm out here and I'm learning how to do these things. So when I'm expressing like, the stuff that I want and what I don't want and how I feel about things, like this is all new stuff for me. Because before this, I never did this stuff before. But I'm kind of confident in what I really want now. I learned a lot of different things. And so I guess for me, that's why I can say this was my worst encounter of sex because it was my first encounter of sex. All the stuff I had before that was great. But, having to actually stick into something where it turned into something I was like, this ain't that great. Like, I never had to do that before. So that's a different conversation for me. And then now it's like, I have limitations on things. Like, even when I talk about my time limit of how much long sex should go, I'm very strict on that. People know that. So these are things that I've learned throughout time because this one experience. So now I can say, hey, sir, after 30 minutes of foreplay and 15 minutes of sex, here's the Vaseline. Do what you do. I'm out.
Wait. But don't. I know. But you gave it 30 minutes. But you gave it 15 minutes of sex. And then we don't have to go into why it's only 15 minutes. I'm gonna tell you, like they said in 5 Heartbeats, my office hours are from 9 to 5. Like we can have that conversation offline, but you may run across. I don't want you Thank you. I don't want you to create limitations on what wasn't. You can create possibilities on what wasn't. But I don't want you to create limitations on what wasn't. What happens is, as we are learning and growing, we like land in this place of this does not feel good. And so we create a limitation because this does not feel good. But the problem with that is that we then create a limitation on what does. And then we give it a time, we give it a picture, we give it a painting, we give it all of these other things. You can't like cross them because what feels good to me, I'm still learning that. I'm still figuring that out. I will only discover what doesn't when it happens, but I can always dream what does.
But you're missing something though. I'm speaking from a single person who's having sex with people who are not my partner, not my life partner. So in my
I
random,
heard you.
like this is
I
what I'm
heard
talking
you.
about. If I get into a relationship, that may change. It may be different. You know, whatever my
No,
partner
baby, I heard you. But with Virgos, I need you to meet me in the middle. I need you to meet me in that square that's between all four of us.
wants. Okay.
Then let your dating experience be what teaches you what you like and feel about yourself. We have a choice in what our experiences teach us. That does not mean that your dating experiences have to teach you love. But why have a dating experience if we don't learn something about our body? We don't learn something about the way we show up. If we don't learn something about the way we turn them out and flip them upside down. Let your dating experiences be everything you need it to be.
But these ain't dating experiences. That's what I'm saying. You know, only dating experience that I can really give you where I've had sex in was my past relationship. So that's where I'm coming from. I can't come to you on any other level with that because people that I've had sex with that I've dated, well, actually I've dated, most of them I'm probably only had sex with like one time. And I'm like, I can't do it. Like something with me, it
So
didn't
when
work
you
out.
have sex, you don't learn something from every time you have sex. That's what I'm asking you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm being real. If you've had sex 50 times, did you not learn 50 or 35 or 25 things?
To me, I put everything in a category. These are people that I'm having sex with. This is what I want from you. If I'm going to
That
date
wasn't
you,
my question.
no,
That wasn't
no,
my
That's the
question.
point.
you
My
said that I.
question is, what did you learn from those experiences? Not what did you gain from those people? I may
No,
only go to sixth grade one time, but I may have gotten 50 lessons. I'm asking you, what did you learn from those experiences? Fuck the people. What did you learn from those experiences?
but that's what I'm telling you. That's what I learned. For me, I can't put people that I'm having sex with in a category of someone that I want to date. To me, those are two different type of people. Because and Dwayne, you can speak on this even when it comes to like dating apps. Like it's
I
like
don't think
with
Dwayne wants to.
But
listen.
see, that's not what I said. I need you to hear me. But we'll talk about this when we come
Wait.
off of here.
But hear what I'm saying though. When it comes to apps, I will go on to Tinder to date. I will go on to Grindr to do what I want to do. These are things for me. I put things in boxes for me because I have to place things for me personally in those kind of spaces so that I mentally can deal with those kind of things. I can't tell you about a dating situation where I can relate to this outside of my relationship because I haven't had that experience personally for me and my personal feelings. That's how
Gotcha.
I operate, period.
Well, me and you,
We'll talk
Virgo
about
to
it later.
Virgo, we're going to talk about this later because when we start to believe that the only way that we can get and there is a such thing as categorizing things. Please hear me at my heart when I say I'm not disrespecting that, and I would never laugh at that. Who we show up as a situationship, who we show up as in relationship, and who we show up as in something further is different. But every experience, we have the truth that we get to choose what we take away from it. I don't care if I'm never getting in a relationship with you, but once I share my energy with you, there's something that I should and can take away from it. If I can't take what I should, there's something that I can take that I can. And that becomes a different conversation and a different truth. So outside of this, because this is bigger than this, You and I will have a conversation because I don't want it to come across like I'm being disrespectful to your process. Because you can only move in the process that is true for you and that feels good for you. But I will say to everyone that is watching, when you are moving in something, if you are not taking something away, even if it doesn't fit into what makes sense for you, then you have to have another evaluation of why this is. And if nothing that you take away is nothing but a new position or a new style that feels good to you, then let it be so. But I want to say to my family, because y'all are family to me, I don't want you to think I'm disrespecting you, and
I
we'll
don't think
talk
that.
outside of this.
I'm gonna let you know. I don't think that at all. I don't. But we'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to jump up on a D thing with everybody, but
Nah, it's all good. It's all great.
yeah,
We still good. We still toasting and
yeah. I
vibing.
think that Dwayne probably side eyes me a lot because I say this a lot to Dwayne all the time. I'm like, I kind of separate things for me because it just makes sense for me. But maybe we'll have a different conversation. So and that's fine.
Well, that is why Dr. Rainier is here. And I think that was a perfect way. There are people in the comments, Doc, that are, like, how can I get in contact with her, et cetera, et cetera. So, I've sent them to the website and to your IG page so that they
I
can.
appreciate that. But it does bear something to say that when we learn our relationship language, while we're learning who we are, and when we learn how we love, those things blur a certain type of way. And then when we leave those situations, we take that with us because that's all we know. And it doesn't matter if you've been in a life 10 years or 25 years. When you have an experience that teaches you something that you never knew, you're like a kindergartner. Whether it's BDSM, kink, poly, it's sex, love, relationship, no matter what it is, when you are experiencing something new, you're new. And that becomes the language that we learn everything from and that we show up as. And if you don't have something else to put in that place or a different way of understanding, then it feels like something all the way across.
Thank you for sharing, SoDebNair. Thank you for being transparent and honest about your where you are. And that gives a space for Dr. Rainier to really kind of flex the muscles of who she is. Now that I'm biased because I get this all the time. I can pick up the phone and be like, sis, and she'd be like, okay, let's talk it out.
And there's days I pick up the phone and be like, brother,
You
get
put
my
the link
soul
down?
from the devil.
You'll put the link down if people want to come up, or we're gonna do that today.
We can actually. If you don't mind, Dr. Renee, I know that we are way over our time.
Yeah. We had a personal
This is your night. I set my time. Listen, I love you, and I mean that. Even though you just follow me on Instagram, I love you. I told you I wasn't going to do that, but I did it, Virgo. I love you, and I mean that. And I gave this evening to all of you. So if people want to come up, even if it's not about me, because this whole experience is not about me. This is about healing the affairs of the heart. That's what Pink Love Wellness is. That's why I was so blessed that I get to be with all of you. And I'm still fangirling, and all of you have to sign something for me. So y'all better get your FedEx accounts in order so y'all can bounce it around between y'all.
We make sure we will. So we're going to put the link. If you are watching us and you want to come in, ask Dr. Rainier a question, ask us a question, share experiences, or even just go back to a conversation or one of the topics that we had tonight, we're going to let you come in. We're choosing at random people that want to pop in and, be a part of the conversation. This is a new segment we do right at the end of our podcast, our show. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from the fans. So get your makeup together, pull your hair back, turn your light on, and let's see you. Let's hear you. Pop in, join us, and let's talk about if you want to go back to one of the topics we had, or if you want to ask us a question or share your experience or your thought on anything that you've heard tonight. The link is there, and SoDebNair is putting it in the comments as well.
It's not an EzSaid group, is it?
It's not. I did not add it to the EzSaidEzDone group. I apologize, Edie. That was my oversight from doing it last night at 3 a.m.
You're good.
It was my oversight. There is a question in the comments. Let's see what it says. What was said says, I am 39 and I have never been in a relationship, only sexual ships. The sexual relationships. Yeah, okay. I'm scared that I'll be like a kindergartner when I find the love, like the doctor said. That is very possible. But Doc, do you have anything you want to say to that?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. I'm going to be real with you and say that you can be a kindergartner in some things, but you're not a kindergartner at everything at the age of 39. There are things that you've learned, there's things that you've experienced that you get to bring to the table. See, the problem is if I'm not 100% here, then I believe I'm not 100% there. So I would implore you to sit down and look at what you're 100% at. And then when you have these conversations, and I'm sure everyone else will add something different, and that's why this is such an amazing show. When you sit down and look at, okay, so I may not be 100% here, you have those conversations. You give people the option, and see, that's the problem with the community sometimes. We don't be truthful, so we don't give people the option to decide if this is something that I can deal with, that I can accept, that I can tolerate. If you said to me, hey, I'm a kindergarten in relationships, I'm a kindergarten in BDSM, I'm a kindergarten in this, that, and the third, then that gives me the option to know that this is a space that I have to teach you in. That means that you have to be secure in what you don't know. The problem is we want to fake that we know stuff we don't know. When you become secure in what you don't know, there's an old ancient quote that says, when you open up the space as a student, the teacher will arrive. When you are truthful about what you don't know, then the person that can teach you or show you if you're open to it will arrive. You don't go into spaces that are expecting you to dive in the deep end if you've never ever set foot in the pool. So that's the truth. So there is some inner work that has to be done with you, so you can have the dialogue to say, I've never been in the pool, I've never desired to be in the pool, but because of you, I want to be in the pool. Don't let me drown. That's my thought. Anybody else can add to that, but that's my thought.
I don't have nothing to say. That I think that unraveled very nicely. Same, what was said honestly requires a man to be vulnerable, and I think we as me. All right. So again, if you want to just pop in, the links are in the comments. Oh, here we go. Okay, not we as me, but we as men are afraid to show our cards because of fear and being taken advantage of. That's a perspective. Some people are afraid to be, transparent or open and honest. They don't want the fear of rejection, as we talked about earlier, or they just have not had great experiences when it came to, being honest, open, and transparent, or it could stem from their upbringing. Maybe their family was not open and honest and transparent. So then that also plays a factor.
I also just met a guy from Tinder. He said that he feels like he meets guys who want him to take care of them.
Wait, say that again.
He meets guys who want him to take care of them. Like every time when he's dating people, they want him to take care of them. like
but there's something
financially.
about him that makes them believe that he can. See this, and I have a hard time having these conversations about around words.
Mhm.
There's something about if every guy that he meets, and I'm not talking about 1 out of 10. We're not talking about anomaly here. If every guy that he meets believes that he can take care of him, there is something about what he presents to the people that says, I am a caretaker. Because when I log on, I don't immediately think that somebody is going to take care of me. Now, if he said there's 1 out of 10, I'd be like, oh well, they're looking for someone to take care of me. But if you say every person, and this is why I am clear on generalizations of every, forever, all those extreme adverbs and adjectives. If every person he meets thinks that he is going to take care of them, there's something in his profile, there's something in his language, there's something in his energy that says that he says to you, I got it like that to take care of you. Otherwise, they're not going to extract that from just a picture or just a profile. There is it's every because every is everybody. There's something about his conversation or what he presents that says I'm a caretaker.
Mhm.
I'm just saying. I'm
Boop,
just
boop,
saying.
boop.
I can
If you
probably.
keep attracting the same kind of person, if you keep attracting a mistress, if you keep attracting a scum bum, if you keep attracting a salt son, not a sugar daddy, but a salt son,
Can
if
you
you
tell us?
keep
Wait.
attracting.
What is a salt son? Because you said that earlier. What is that?
So a sugar daddy is somebody that has the money, the desire, and the potential to take care of you and show up for you what a sugar daddy can be. A salt son, sugar versus salt, daddy versus son. A salt son is someone who has the imaginary perception that they can offer you an imagery and you will vibe into it like they're a sugar daddy, but they can't provide you nothing. That is a salt son. That is my word. If you use it, just send it back to me because I'm telling you that's what it is. Assault center is an imaginary perception of being what a sugar daddy represents, but they ain't got a dime and don't have any lessons. They don't offer you or owe you nothing and can't give you or offer you anything.
Woo!
This is a good show, guys.
My goodness gracious.
I think we need to do like a once a month with you.
Right.
Let me tell you something. If you come to me, and this is not about dollars and cents, this is about family and being. If you feel like we've had a productive conversation, you say at least once a month or every other month, we want to have you back. I'm here because y'all all in my family. And easy, you are my family by like proxy. Like I love you guys. Like I'm a big fan. So for me, we waited long enough to let my sitting in the moment like just be, but coming into this experience, there are other shows that offer a gay male perspective.
Mhm.
Truth number one, they wouldn't even allow me to be present
Hmm.
because I'm a lesbian woman, not understanding that I'm a lesbian woman and a plethora of other things. So they would have cut it off. The second thing is y'all have real conversations, and all of you, I don't know you easy that well, but I do have an understanding of so debonair, and I absolutely know Dwayne. We all walk in spaces that people are trying to get to know who we are today. They have imagery of who we used to be, and
Mhm.
they leave us there. But trying to get to know who we are today, I was excited about, I get I'm an LGBTQ faith advocate and I'm a former minister of the pulpit, all that. But I wanted to come talk about sex, relationships, all that, because that's what I do. And so for love says, if you want to bring back every other month, we get it on the calendar, we make it happen. Can I get a flyer so we can share it so other people can join? Period. Because we're family. And family says that Dwayne and SoDebNair and Easy, I'm including you in this part. Y'all, you need help with something? I don't have to charge you my rate. I charge you like love donation like they do in church. $2, that's good. Let's get it done. Because that's how we do, because it's all about healing our community. And that becomes what's most important. Because the moment we heal our community, then we change the subtopics of what we have to discuss.
Mhm.
Because we don't have to discuss anymore because our community is healing.
Yeah. I think it was really dope to have you today. One, because me and Dwayne have been talking about having not just me and him on the show. Well, not just like men on the show, like from the first season. So it's definitely dope to like hear your opinion on things. Because I mean, you've taught me a lot of things today that I mean, or maybe even think about things that I wouldn't even think of. But also like just your intake on the conversation we had today were really thought provoking. It's like, you know, maybe the way I think about some things, or I can open up to think about it this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I listened to your show, when Dwayne was on the time that I listened to it, I was like, I loved it. I told Dwayne, I was like, I love that show. Like, it was so dope. And even the description that you gave about our show, I was like, I never thought about our show like that. So it's just different stuff. It's like, because all the time we don't have different perspectives from just our point of view as gay men. We don't have a different perspective. So like to just hear what you say and how you look at it, because honestly, it was like you weren't even like not one of us today. Honestly, it was like you jumped in like you was like one of us for real. And
Well, it's the truth. It's really no difference. And if I have to say what my worst sexual encounter was having a man lay on top of me, and I was like doing this on his back, like on his back. I promise you, I was like, oh my god, I'm doing. Well, I had to like do that for my friend to have a place to stay, but see, we didn't get into that. It was a whole thing, and that's what I'm saying. What you do here requires people to have a level of transparency that
yeah,
everyone's not willing to have. For me to sit here as a lesbian woman to say that my worst encounter was sleeping with a man because my friend needed a place to stay that night, and the whole night I had my hand on his back, like, come on, do something. Oh my god, like just get done. So I can let her sleep and I can go home. That's not a conversation that comes from truth. That's a conversation that comes behind the scenes. I thank you. All of you. Wait, hold on. I'm mirrored. All of you for your truth, your transparency, and your desire to give a space for our community, whether they're gay, lesbian, transgender, binominal, bisexual, by everything, asexual, all those things that we just have going on in our community. Yeah, I said it. I'm being truthful.
Well, no,
Phenomenal. It's
I
the
don't even know
numbers
what
of
that
what we
is yet.
are. But that's the point. Y'all
right,
create a space that even if we don't know what it is, we know we can come here.
right.
And that is the most important thing. I don't know what I am, but I know I'm safe here. And so I will come back every month for once a month for the rest of the month if that's what you want, because I'm about promoting healing in our community. And so if this is healing our community, then I'm on board once a month, every month for the next 12 months. I'm committed to it. Y'all heard me. I'm saying it, and maybe next month I'm not crying from my eyes and blowing from my nose with allergies. It wasn't the lashes. I was just having an allergic reaction, and I'm willing to do that. Like real talk,
Lo-
because we need that.
Yes, yes. That's why she is my sister. That is why we wanted her on the show, and we're so grateful. Anybody else, anybody that wants to chime in, if you want to join us live, the link is scrolling
Come
down at the
on,
bottom.
come on, live, come
Come on
on.
and say what you got to say while we're waiting for somebody to come on, Jabu. Yes, we are
Jaboon should come on here. I hate you click on that link and come on here.
Yeah,
I want
Jaboon,
Jabu to come on. I don't want you to pause because you're straight. I want you to come on because you're real. Come on, Jabu. We're waiting for
yeah,
you.
we are a part of the LGBTQIA plus community.
He
And
knows that though. Me and him have a lot of conversations about different things, about the difference between our communities and things like that. He's one of the people that I know from home, and we talk about things all the time on social media. So I thought he would definitely call in. Well, I'm black, y'all, and my black y'all, and laughing.
We called you out, Jabu. Come on. Just click the link. If you say that you don't see the link, bring the link because here's the thing about community. We are who we are with LGBTQIA and all of that, but it means something to have someone who's not of the community to come on here and say, I listened to all of this and I could take something away from all of this. And I'm not LGBTQ, but I got something here today.
At the end of the day, I know from when I first started talking about love, sex, and relationships with my seminars and my panels of discussion, it's the one thing that bonds us all together. We all go through it. We all go through relationships. We all go through love. We all go through good sex, bad sex. These are things that really hold us together. And honestly, like when I had my stuff going on, like I had straight, I had gay, I had old, I had young, I had white, I had black, all on the panel. Like they were, it was a congregation of everybody because everyone was there to share their experiences because we all go through it. Like if you take the aspect of someone being gay or straight, you go through heartbreak like I go through heartbreak. I done bust a couple windows, you done bust a couple windows. Like come on, it's just
no, I've never bust a couple windows because I worked in law. I knew what that would do. So I did everything from behind.
Have you had the feeling to bust a couple windows?
Absolutely. Like real talk.
That's all I need.
I might have sent someone else to bust a window. Don't put that out there.
See, that's all I need. You are Jasmine Sullivan adjacent. That's all.
All right, so I believe this is Jabu who's just popped in. Let's bring him in and see what he has to say. Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
We appreciate you for hanging in with us.
Hey, pleasure. Hey, definitely, like I said, having a good old time just listening to y'all, clowning around and everything like that. So, once again, thank you for having me as a straight man on a. This is a podcast, right?
Sure.
Oh no, I didn't want to call it something that it wasn't, but yeah, no, I mean on a podcast that I know the audience is typically not necessarily my demographic, but once again, I'm enjoying it. So,
and suffice it to say, we actually have several straight men and women who do chime in and who listen kind of faithfully. So you're not alone. And we appreciate the allyship. We appreciate the connection. We appreciate the ability for you to be able to come in and feel comfortable to engage in the conversation and share your experiences as well, because we're not a monolith. We're not all the same, and that's what makes us unique, and that's what makes our community so unique, in the fact that we all have different experiences. And just like Easy said, our commonalities and our intersections are relationships and sex and love, and that's why we will always have the dialogue and the conversation with everybody. We don't shade anybody.
I will say what's interesting is, especially being a straight male, that it was something that I initially had to really kind of get comfortable with, because when the whole, I guess you can say the social boom of being comfortable, of coming out and things of that nature kind of happened, it caught some people by surprise. They didn't know how to take it in. They didn't know how to accept it. And then especially if you're coming from like religious backgrounds like that was a whole nother hurdle for some folk to get over. But I think it really kind of hit home when I myself got comfortable with who I was sexually. And then that's when it kind of flipped the switch for me, like, well, hold on, like a lot of this stuff, a lot of these warnings that people are saying about, oh, if you're gay and da da da, all that, like a lot of that stuff doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, outside of your sexual preference, you're a human being, first and foremost. And then for all of us on this stage, you're black. So you're black before you anything else. So that's how, like I said, that's how I was able to, kind of break through that whole threshold of, oh man, you're gay, what? Because for real, for the longest time, I didn't even know, so Deb was gay. It was maybe right after your last relationship with a lady, a mutual lady friend of ours, that I actually found out. But
Rainier, did you have a comment there?
I did from the place of, and then I need like 5 minutes because I got to run to the bathroom. For 2.5 hours, I need to handle my business. But so, Jabu, like, here's the deeper thing: the fact that you are willing to sit through this entire show, being the person that you are, is big. Because most people, once they realize it's an LGBTQ conversation, they're going to like shut off. They're not going to go any further. And you shared and you connected from this place. The thing about this conversation, and I'm speaking from someone who has watched it and has had the privilege of being a part of it today, the sexuality of the individuals involved have nothing to do with the truth of what it means of relationship. Like everything that has been said today could be attributed to whether you're gay, whether you're lesbian, whether you're asexual or bisexual or pansexual. Like they have this ability to open up a conversation, and even if it makes you uncomfortable because of what you think you should be or what you think you should believe, you will step back and say, I can relate to that. And so you brought comments into this conversation with you and your girlfriend or you and your partner that said to me, I don't care who I am being in context of this relationship, but what you're offering me is something I can take into any type of relationship. Now, when you bring in the conversation of religion, which we're not going to do tonight, I teach classes on religious trauma because religious trauma as an LGBTQ person and religious trauma as a Black person is different. But then when you bring them both together, I teach a course on this on a platform about healing LGBTQ trauma. When you bring in being Black and being a sexual being into a platform that we talk about trauma, we were never supposed to feel good about who we are. Never supposed to feel good about who we are. We don't get to feel good about who we are as sexual beings. We only get to feel good as long as it makes the other people be able to get something off of it. So we don't want to do this tonight because I'll tell you that at the end of the day, who I am as a Black person, a sexual Black being, is empowering and phenomenal and all of these other things. But if I have to take that into a room of non-Black people, I have to quiet it down. I have to make it make sense. I have to like pause it. But when I say I am powerful as a Black being who happens to be LGBTQ, who happens to bring the power of who I am as all that I am, then it doesn't work. And it only doesn't work for everybody else. So I'm going to say to you, with your partner and the person that you move in this world and the vibration that all that is beautiful, then you continue to do that. The fact that you showed up today, a lot of people may not understand it, but what you did for us today is introduce the conversation of universalism that says that affairs of the heart speaks to people that are gay, speaks to people that are LGBTQ, but we speak to everybody because relationship issues supersede sexuality. They are what they are. And all of these individuals that are up above me on my screen have like opened up this gate of empowerment that they have no idea that they did. And you are like the testament, not testimony, but a testament because you are who you are in the being. You tell everybody, like, yeah, I'm straight, but I teach something and I learn something every time I gather in the room with all of these individuals. So I thank you.
Am I the first heterosexual male that you've had on like live?
I believe so. I don't think we've had we've had them in we've had
Look
them
at
in
me
the
breaking barriers. No.
That's what I said. See, I listen, I don't pour nothing out of nowhere for nothing.
yeah, we've definitely had them in the comments, but we have not had anyone bold enough to come and show themselves. So we appreciate it more than you know. And I think Rainier just opened portals of other conversations with with what she just said. So we're grateful that you stick in with us and that you hang out with us and that you engage, because people can come and spectate, but you engage. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, SoDebNair, he's the one that has asked some questions on the podcast before, correct?
Yeah, I asked him some stuff for questions on the podcast.
Oh, because so yeah, he had me like pose questions, and I really was kind of like just pulling them off of the top of my head. I'm mad I missed that episode then, because the one that the one that I had the time to tune into before, he didn't use those questions, but I was actually curious to the answer to some of those questions, but oh well.
From tonight's show, what are the topics? One of the topics that resonated with you, Jabu, excuse me. Jabu, thank you so much. What one of the topics from tonight, which topic tonight resonated with you, or that you want to add a comment to?
Oh, hold on, let me look back at my because I know there was one that I because I'm looking at the responses, but I'm trying to remember what the questions were to those.
There was one you mentioned about the young lady that you just couldn't leave alone. If she was toxic.
Yeah, so I think that was the question of the what have you said in the bedroom thing?
Oh yeah, what have you said silently while having sex?
Yeah, so it's like I said, with this particular one, it was a particular lady that communication between us was just, I was on Jupiter, she was on Mars type of thing. But the only language that we both understood was, hey, do you want to come through? And it was all like, despite how frustrating it was to communicate with her outside of, hey, do you want to come through? The sex was so, can we cuss on here?
Yeah.
Was so fucking amazing that one day, like I said, and we had an argument before, which is, like I said, why I hate I hate like engaging with her or whatever outside of that. But we, like I said, conversation prior to that, heated, then out of the blue, yo, you want to come through? Fuck.
Well, of course you're gonna go.
Fine. Yeah. Right. Fine. I'll be over there. And the whole ride over there, why the fuck am I doing this? Walked into the crib, why the fuck am I doing this? She's sitting up there, like low key kind of patronizing me beforehand. And so we get to actually having sex. And once again, it's amazing. Sorry, I don't know who that is. But it's amazing. And I remember vividly in the middle of it, mid-strokes, and I'm asking myself in my head, why the fuck is this chick's pussy so good that I cannot leave this girl alone? Because it was literally and once again, I knew it. I knew it was the sex. But in the sex, I'm like, God, like, why is this shit so good, but yet I cannot stand the person that it's connected to? Yeah. So that's the one thing that I remember mumbling to myself quietly, during a sexual encounter is, why the hell is this chick's pussy so freaking good and I cannot stand her breathing outside of this aspect?
Is that her calling?
Is that her calling you?
But it's a number that I don't know, so I'm like, who the heck is it? I wonder if this is my pizza. Hold on, let me.
That's her calling.
She's like, that's her calling me now.
Yes.
Hold on.
Grab your pizza. We're gonna pull you out for just a second.
She saw the podcast and was like, "What's that?"
Right, Renee, you were gonna say something.
So let me say this. Anything that feels good, that makes you arrive at this place that you lose your mind, will always be a remnant in your memory. See, we're having this conversation on surface, but there's something that happens like in the brain. Because I won't even try to say it right now because I'm gonna mess it up. But there's something that happens in the brain when we introduce something that we are not familiar with. And that's not the conversation that's had. Trauma, sex, what feels good, what we think we know about ourselves, they all, especially if they happen in the formation of a situation, changes your filter. It changes your lens. So it's very easy to be in some shit with a person that in your brain is not good for you, but your heart is like, yo, that shit feel good.
So can I tell y'all a funny story? So I'm from Columbus, Ohio. It's a very small place. That's where I know Jabu. I know him from a different name, but that's where we know each other from. So like a lot of our sexual experiences come from just being a small place where it's like maybe it's just convenient at that time. You know what I mean? And so like while he was telling that story, like it made me think about a lot of different situations I've had from back home where I'm like, why am I doing this? But it's so good, but I really don't be attached to this person. I remember when I first, my friends started finding out that I was gay. And there was one guy I used to hang out with all the time. And he was gay, but I never wanted to hang out with him because I didn't want nobody to know I was gay. And so my friend started to find out, and he picked me up, he took me to a gay party. And I was pissed because I'm like, why would you take me? I told you I don't want to do this. And he ended up taking me to this party, and I met a lot of good people there at that time. And I ended up having sex with someone from there, and it was the same situation. It was like, this is great, but like, I don't want to do it with you. Like, so I feel like, coming from different places, like maybe you have those experiences a little bit more than people from bigger cities.
First of all, how dare you say Columbus is a small city?
It's very small.
I don't know how long it's been since you've been here, my man, but we have grown.
I was there in September. It's still small.
You must not be counting all the suburbs that's connected.
Jabu, you're not allowed. You're not allowed because you already said that the pussy like disrupts your entire train of thought. So you're not. You're not allowed.
Hey, it still takes you about a good 45 to get from one side to the other.
We already had a whole episode.
I
See,
got
I'm
my
a
whole
fair
state
to
math
the
and
heart.
everything.
Yeah,
Hey, and
I'm
what's
all fair to the heart. We already had a conversation about what it means when it takes you an hour to get from point A to point B. We did that.
Yo, okay, hold on. I don't know if you guys have ever talked about this. What is the longest distance, time, or mileage wise that you've ever gone for a sexual encounter?
2 weeks ago, we said no longer than an hour should be allowable. Is that what you said, EZ?
No,
No
that
longer
no.
than.
He just said he don't know why they're driving an hour.
I don't understand. It don't make sense to me.
In Atlanta, it could be a 25-minute drive, but with that traffic hit, it could be an hour to an hour and 30-minute drive. So
I'm in
That's-
New York. When you go
that's
from
different.
Brooklyn to the Bronx, that's an hour. You going from Brooklyn to the Queens to the Bronx, that's an hour and a half. I'm yeah.
And I'm gonna make it very clear. I lived in Brooklyn, and I was not dating anybody in the Bronx because I was not getting on the train for 2 hours. It wasn't
But-
happening. Especially if you're going at midnight. The trains are slower. You're not getting home till 4 a.m. It's not happening.
I think
So,
my longest encounter was when I lived in Dayton, Ohio, and someone drove from Columbus to Dayton for a sexual encounter. That's like an hour and a half, maybe.
You must have a banging ass profile. Cause I ain't driving an hour and a half for nothing but a check.
I went from Columbus to Indianapolis for some. Yeah.
Pull that up. Oh,
Indiana?
Yeah, Indianapolis, Indiana.
That's like 3 hours, right?
For me, 2.5.
Wait. You drove 3 hours? See, this is another show.
CJ.
Y'all bring me
I
back.
know
to me.
CJ.
But that's
Now-
what I was
Now,
saying.
it does help that Indianapolis is like a second home to me. Like, I do kind of travel there.
That wasn't my
At least
question. You
once
drove
a
3
year.
hours?
That was
3 hours.
stable.
You drove 3 hours. Wait, let me ask you a different question, Jabu. Did you drive? And say I have to. Did you drive 3 hours after you already knew? Because once I know, if I know you putting it down, I would drive like the Atlanta plane to get to what I need. So did you already know, or did you just like drive it on a hunch?
So obviously it wasn't just I talked to you the first day and then drove up out there, but it was more of we've had maybe a few conversations and then I'm like, all right, well, I'm free this particular day or weekend or whatever.
Conversation? You drove
So
3
you
hours
never,
for
so
conversation?
y'all never had sex before?
No. I met her on Black Planet.
I don't know. Black Planet.
Can I
Wait,
actually?
whoa. Do y'all know what Black Planet is? I mean,
Yes.
I thought I was lying the last time we was on here together. Now you know I'm telling the truth.
See, y'all not gonna bring me back. Let me mute my mic.
Hold on. Can I? I'm gonna add 10 more cents to her 25 cents.
Yo, can I
So that's
say,
like-
easy? I like you, my guy. Like, I love your personality, man. I like you.
I appreciate that. And with that, since we have that connection now, I can ask this question without a doubt. Because you opened the door for it. Now that's a 3-hour drive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's another 3 hours back too. So that's.
Oh no, it wasn't just like I went there, smashed, and came back.
You stayed for a little while.
But you went 3 hours to get there.
So
How did
yeah,
you know?
I have family in Indianapolis.
Okay, so
So
Okay.
I used it as an excuse to like go see
Oh,
family.
see, that's what I mean about
uh,
perspective. We need those extra details. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
multitask
So
the
how about?
purpose.
So did you smash and then go see grandma, or did you see grandma and then go smash?
I smashed and then went to go see sister.
Okay, all right,
Stayed
all
the
right.
night over
And because
sisters.
you say sister don't make it better. Who's sister? Help the people out. The people in the comments. What's sister? Your
No, like
sister?
my actual blood sister.
Okay.
I heard that he smashed and helped his sister out. I just want to give people the perspective.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Smashed the lady, then went over to my sister's house, my blood relative sister,
Got
stayed
you.
the
Okay.
night. Next day, smashed again before
Oh,
going
so you
home.
ain't had that. You ain't see. So your question that you posed earlier was not on a newbie. It was on an OB, but I want y'all to give me some advice.
No. It would I mean, I mean, because like I said, I've never met that person before that particular evening. So
Oh.
it was something new. But I guess
How long was the stroke? Because if we driving 3 hours, the stroke game got like this. This is not so debonair 45 minutes. I mean, or 15 minutes. Because you don't drive 3 hours to do a 15-minute poke woke. Like this.
yo,
I feel like
not
Family
going to
Feud.
lie.
Good answer. Good
Not going
answer.
to lie. So I guess first night, maybe it was about 45 minutes or so. But it was like
Wait,
it
wait,
was more than
no,
one, it was
no.
more than one session.
Lie.
It was
Lie,
more than one
Jaboo.
session. No,
Lie,
it
Jaboo.
was like
If
it was
you
more than one
said
session.
3 hours and you gave me 45 minutes, we would have to have a different type of conversation. I need you to lie.
But he
I need
went
you to
back a
act like
second.
it was a whole night extravaganza.
He
I
went
need
You
back
know
for a
what,
second time though,
Nah,
y'all.
nah,
He went
Dwayne?
back
she
for a second time.
Can I sprinkle
she
something on this, Dwayne?
He went back a
Did
second
you
time, guys.
did you get ready at your house, then go there, or did you go there and then get ready?
I take that's an inside joke, huh?
easy. Stop.
Wait,
That
No.
was
I knew he was about to do it.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about. I'm
I
saying
know,
we
I know
talked
it.
about like I was part of this show, but I want to bring the everybody in. A couple of weeks ago, they talked about what it meant, and I'm not going into detail, you guys. What it meant if a person had to come to your house to prepare for your evening, and in such, how many hours did it take to get there? Would you let a woman prepare? Don't y'all say nothing up there. You see what I'm saying? Nothing.
Let me mute myself.
Would you allow a woman to prepare her body, being, and soul? And I know y'all talking about something different. I'm not talking to y'all at your house if you didn't know her and they all had been conversing about being intimate with each other. Because she just, see, now I got to be real because y'all would say I was like sugarcoating it. Would you allow her to douche, to shave, to do a Brazilian wax down there? Would you allow her to take care of her feminine issues in your home in advance of y'all fucking?
at my place. At my place, right? Like,
So
like I'm
Jaboo,
not coming to her, she's coming to me, right?
Jaboo, let me tell you what you
Okay.
missed. A couple weeks ago, they were talking about.
Wait,
See,
let him
we
answer.
opened
Let him
the
answer
door.
first. Let him answer first. Let him
I think
answer
he
first.
already did.
Don't give no backstory. Don't give no
Okay,
Okay,
backstory.
go ahead.
because I
Because you
think I
already
think
did.
I think there might be a limit in regards to what I allow you to kind of get away with in regards to preparation. Like
Thank
if
you.
you just need to run to the restroom real quick just to kind of check up on things, making sure everything cool down there or whatever, your presentation, whatever, like 5-10 minutes, cool. Like in fact, because I even had one lady come over, take a shower or whatever. But like I said, that 5-10 minutes, you cool. But if you got to like shave and do all of that, yeah, like yo, you should have did that before you left the crib. The only excuse I will give is if you're coming to my place and you just left work.
Thank you.
Like if you just left somewhere where
I
you couldn't go
apologize.
home to prepare, then okay, fine. I'll give you that leeway. But if you coming from the crib, then yeah, you get a 5-10 minute bathroom, sweetheart, and we gotta go ahead and get to going.
Are
Thank
we
you.
going to open the bottom versus top
First
conversation?
of all, comparing to what he's saying, it's still what I'm saying.
No.
We know what
He's
asked.
right. Yes, it is. Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No one asked to go shave at the house. None of that. He's saying the same thing as I said. So y'all are still wrong.
Why would you say?
The
Some
same thing
bullshit.
you said.
He said what you said.
What you said.
But
Okay.
from a gay perspective, he said
Ain't
what
nothing
you
wrong with
said.
it.
But I mean, okay.
No, because he said basically if the girl comes over, she's doing a quick little wash. That's it. That's what you will take
That's
that
what the guy
wash
does.
off.
We call it a
down
whole
there.
bath. A whole
That's the
bath.
same-
Just call it what it is.
All
not
right.
the same
So
thing.
explain to the hetero guy what gay folks do. No. What all gay guys do to prepare?
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't mess it up. You were like 100% on point. Don't do that.
Oh, boo.
Don't do
Oh,
that.
boo. I want you to.
I have
Oh, boo.
absolutely no
Oh,
idea.
boo. Oh, boo.
What
I
you
want you
said
to listen-
was right. It was fine.
I want you
That
to
was
listen
right.
to
Right
Dwayne.
where you are. Look at my face, Abu. That was enough.
Okay.
Because I'm about to open the door. I was gonna open the door.
The
Oh,
door
boo.
is closed portion.
Oh, boo. I want you to
Look,
listen to
I
me.
already listened to y'all show. Like it ain't too much that y'all don't already disclose. I just
You
don't
didn't
know
listen
what
to
the
that.
heck
You
gay
did not.
folks do to prepare.
You ain't listen to that show. 'Cause you didn't listen to that show.
If I'm giving ass, I'm doing 45-minute preparation at show.
Lies. Lies. There you go. That's all you need right there. That's all you need
All
right
right.
there.
Well,
Wait. I'm so
if you
glad.
doing 45-minute preparation, that better be the best sex of my life then.
No, I feel like Abu needs to know, and everybody needs to know.
So Abu, so
Wait. So let's ask the question. Let's ask the question. Do you have anal sex with women?
I want to try.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a blessing or a curse,
Okay.
but my endowment has
wait a damn minute.
been unfavorable for me to do that with most of the women that would actually let me try.
Can I just
Wait,
say
wait,
I
wait,
love the
wait.
way he said it.
So let me
The
ask you
way
another
he-
question.
Can we
Hold
just
on,
can
wait.
Wait, no. What did you
That's more-
take?
let me finish.
Wait, Easy. What did you
Okay.
hear?
Wait.
Let me
Hey,
finish.
I love the way he presented it. It was like he served his dick on some gold paper plates. The way he put the words together. It
Endowment.
Like-
Anything is endowment.
but it was.
Makes motherfuckers question it.
I'm going to go back once this is over with, and I'm going to record just him saying that.
Well, I need to ask the most important question. So if you decided to do that, would you let her get ready at your house for her to do that, or would you want to get ready before she comes to your house to do it?
So being that it would probably be my first time and I don't know what all preparation needs to happen in regards to that.
Yeah, clean that thing out.
Yeah, I would let her take as much time as she needed because once again, I mean, she's the one taking it. So if I'm gonna let you take all the time you need to prepare.
Thank you. That's all I want to know. I will put myself on you. Just ask questions.
Now, if we have been doing that for a minute, then
No.
I'm trying to get come half.
You don't get to come back. No.
Come on, first time. Like once you get in that rotation, and you start to get comfortable, you don't get the same amount.
I'm a plugger, so we have to have different kind of conversation. I'm a plugger. Y'all know what that is.
Wait, I don't know what's the plugger.
Butt
tell?
plug.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
I had a rule. If you wanted to do me, I had to do you.
Okay.
Just a plugger.
Girl and guy, or girl or
If
guy.
you wanted to do me, look at my face. If you wanted to do me, then I had to do you.
Well, so much for traveling up to New York to ask you.
I think that's it. I think we're done. I think we're done.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I think we're done.
Before we get out of here, though, I do want to thank you for coming on here because
Jabari.
Most deaf. Like I said, y'all need some.
Listen.
Y'all ever need comedy relief? I'm that guy. Like I said, this ain't nothing.
First of all, I want to call you, and I know that I called you before this name. I don't even know that name. But I appreciate you for coming on here because I really appreciate the fact that you do ask questions when I'm talking about stuff that pertains to our community. And you're very open about it. And it gives, I have so much respect for you because of that. Because a lot of people that I know from that time frame just don't. Like, it's so hard to even talk to them or whatever. But like when me and you talk, like it's always like it's a very respectable thing, and I really appreciate that. And you
I'm gonna say, but I fuck with you. Like we go way back to Fresh Face days. Like, come on, man. Once again, like I said before you are gay, you are a human being.
Right.
So why would I treat you any differently? Your sexual preference is just that, a sexual preference.
You still got your shot glass?
Yes, it's in my closet. Yes.
So a lot of people don't know that like all this broadcast stuff I've been doing this for over like 13 years now. And actually around that time, I had a show called Fresh Face Radio, and we did like gift bags with T-shirts and shot glasses in it. And you had one of them. And so that's the thing that I love about a lot of my friends. Like they are always supporting me on ventures that I have. So like even with him coming on here today, like it means a lot to me because literally like he puts me in groups with him and it's a bunch of straight people. And I'm like, this is not what I'm fighting these people, but he's always has my back on a lot of things. So like he's definitely really like an ally, seriously, for the LGBT community. So him coming on here today isn't shocking to me because he really be like, no, like really like fighting, like this is what it is. And like hear what he's saying, seriously, stuff like that. So like I want y'all to know that, seriously, but I have a lot of love for you, man, just because of that.
I'm sorry, I half of that cut off. I was looking for the shot glass.
I know.
You can watch it later.
I was telling people why you were gone. But are we gonna get up out of here? You want to give everybody social media stuff, Dwayne?
Also, the token wise ass is literally my name across the board. Like, yeah, that's me. I am a token asshole, but in a funny and loving way.
I'm a Virgo. You don't get to be the token asshole by yourself.
I'm a Scorpio, so.
Well, we are Virgo.
Scorpio.
My boo's a Scorpio. I give you a pass.
I think it'd be.
Hey, that's probably why I like Easy so much. That's my guy now. Aaron, you've been replaced. No, I'm just playing.
Y'all like two different
people. Virgo. Bye.
You're like two different. They're two totally different people, though. Seriously.
Oh.
So that's realistic.
Yes, because I get ready at my own damn house.
Okay. All right. All right. So listen. Jabu, thank you so much, man. Seriously, we're gonna have you back as a guest for more topics and conversation. We appreciate you popping in. We're gonna wrap it up because we've been here almost 3 hours. So we're gonna take you out, Jabu, man. We'll definitely keep in touch and we'll have you in the next couple shows. All right.
Before he leaves, can they tell him how they can find you?
He just did.
Yeah, the Token Wise app.
Okay.
Yeah, like literally on every platform.
Okay. All right.
Twitter, and don't be in his
Instagram.
DMs. Do not be in his DMs. I'm telling y'all now, leave him alone. Hell.
Right, yeah, none of the like turning thing. Like, look, I fucks with y'all, but I don't fucks with y'all.
And I will fight y'all.
All right. So we're gonna pop Jabu out. Later, man. Thank you so much for popping in with us and taking time out. All right, Rainier, where can everybody find you, my love? You muted yourself.
I just feel like I'm still on camera. I was already going.
God.
All of a sudden, the smoke was. I was like, oh, I'm still on camera. Everybody can find me. Everybody can find me at Renauman on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. If you want to connect to me personally, send me an email at pinklovewellness.com. Just say where you saw me at. So if you send me an email and you say, I saw you on Affairs of the Heart, I'm all about the work. It's not about the money. It's all about the work. Because once we heal the heart chakra here, it changes like how we show up in the world. Thank you all. I had a ball. And if y'all want to bring back like once a month, every month, I'm like, going to schedule that shit in my calendar. I'm like, because we don't have this. Let me be real. It's not about the liquor or shots or anything else. We don't have this. We don't have the space where people show up in the truth of who they are and say, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But we family. Help me. We don't have a help me community because we can't. Because of trauma and because of other things, we don't have a help me community. And you all, wait, let me do the mirror thing. Wait, hold on. There. Yeah. I have to learn how that works. Like, y'all, all of y'all create a space for people to bring their truth. And that's not something that they can get from everywhere. And so if y'all do nothing else beyond this point, this is real. Yeah, no, Dwayne, don't play me. I went from here.
Okay.
But y'all all bring a perspective that involves people, not just that you know, but people that have been finding a space for all of you and all of truth. And that's what y'all did. And I don't want y'all to stop doing that. So if you want to say to me, hey, every third Thursday of the month, I'm bringing you in. We're going to have this conversation. We're going to make it happen. I will block it out now. Every third Thursday of the month. Because y'all truth, wait, hold on, because Dwayne going to play me. Your truth involves in y'all being transparent and sharing your truth in spite of what other people may think about it. I love you all. I grow with you all. I trust you all. And I know that everybody over here feels the same way. Listen, I looked at the screen to make sure I was pointing the right way. Don't play me. See, Virgo, you're fired because you supposed to have my back.
Listen, when we get off of here, I'm gonna tell you how I know we Virgos for real. After we get off of here, but I got you For real, you gonna laugh when we get
I'll
up
be
here.
in backstage, but you fired because you supposed to have my back.
Don't leave though. I'm gonna say while we Virgos, for real. You gonna laugh.
Easy. Where can they find you, my friend?
Find me right
See?
there.
Okay.
And
Easy
that's on
peasy.
everything. All my got some people working with me, so all my platforms have been changed. They all are easy said, easy done. So whether you look me up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Bigo,
They really tried to play
Clubhouse,
me.
Snapchat, I'm all there. What happened?
What you said?
Oh.
What you said?
I didn't mean. I told my baby scammers. I say tried to play me.
Oh,
No, we don't want you to play you.
we
But
didn't.
yes, you can find me at that easy said, easy done. So on all social media platforms.
SoDebNair is so. I'm just going to point to your. I can see. I
Yes,
can't
it's
even
right
get it.
there.
It's right there.
Everything for me is SoDebNair outside of the Affairs of the Heart podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to my actual YouTube channel, SoDebNair, where I do like reviews of shows and stuff like that. But definitely check that stuff out. And also go to, if you guys have letters that you want us to talk about on the show, there is a part on the website that says Dear Affairs of the Heart. Go on there and give us a letter because we love you guys' letters.
All right, and of course, I'm Dwayne Q, and you can also check out Swank Arts and Entertainment or swankartsent.com for more details. Guys, thank you so much for hanging in with us for almost 3 hours. But it was a great show with great content and great information. Make sure you check us out Thursdays at 8 p.m. every Thursday for the Affairs of the Heart Live. We'll see you next Thursday. Take care.